because it's kind of my thing.
Like one of the places I'm interviewing at tomorrow is Denny's.
Now we're live.
Oh.
I'll kick it in a sec. I didn't mean to do that, but we're live. Slam Pigs Podcast, Hell in a Cell Post Show 2017. Yes, we are back. Michael, what's going on? We did Saturday last week, but right back on schedule. Welcome back. Woo! How was the week?
Good week. Glad to be back here. We're doing another WWE pay-per-view. Some good, some bad, some exciting, some boring.
Yeah, that's episode. It's never fucking ever.
I mean, off the top, I wouldn't quite say this was pay-per-view of the year material.
It was good. It was better than No Mercy. We'll get to that. We will. Real quick, because we got some guests. We do it together. Michael, where can everyone check out all that good shit?
Everyone can check me out at Mike the Slam Pig on Twitter. As always, check us out as a whole, the Hibiki TMD. Check out 205 Live with Logan and COlins. Check out our sister show.
I can barely hear anything when you do the intros because the music is like, I don't know. Whatever. I'm on Twitter at OvertieGuy. I've had a fun day. Hell in a Cell was good. Baron Corbin champion.
You can't hear because their connection is up. There we go. Let's get the music down. Colin, can you hear us better now? We had some lag.
Now I can hear you.
There you go. All right. Well, it came off because of lag that you interrupted Michael, and I think he took it personal. I was like, no, it's lag. But go ahead.
First show I'm doing with this fucker, and he cuts me off on my intro.
Michael, real quick. Go ahead. No, but we'll settle this. Michael, real quick, finish what you're saying, and then Colin.
Now I'm just going to start over.
Oh, God. Go ahead.
Everyone can check me out at Mike the Slam Pig on Twitter. As always, check us out as a whole. Hibiki TMD, 205 Live, Cruise Control with Logan and this cutoff guy, evidently. Also, our sister show, The Reset Button.
It's not baseball. He's not the cutoff man.
He might as well be.
The Reset Button with Shannon, if you're into retro gaming, Michael. And did you see any Halloween videos? But I'm getting in the spirit of the first season of the year for the tail end of it. Halloween, a Hibiki Halloween.
Not a big Halloween fan. You know why? Because it takes a lot of my shine. Birthday. My birthday's near Halloween.
Yes.
And I don't appreciate it.
Our next post-show live will be TLC on your birthday,
That's
October
correct.
22nd with Lee. Be sure to check that out, guys. But real quick, anyone stops by the chat, thank you very much. Sorry, Michael.
I don't like people cutting me off or taking my shine for my birthday. So there you go.
Here we go. And Michael, as I said, bringing both shows together. Slam Pigs Cruise Control is in the house. There's no cruiserweights on the show we're reviewing, but fuck it. Figured why not? It's about damn time we got you and Colin on the same show. Speak the devil. He's not Mr. Cutoff.
He is off to a great start.
He's continuous, Colin Dunn. What's going on, man? Welcome back. How was your week? And where can everyone check you out?
My week was fine. Michael, I'm sorry. What happens is whenever Travis does these intros, I can barely hear anything, and so I'm trying to listen as best I can for the smallest hint of my name. And he said something with a C, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's my cue." And so, yeah, I'm sorry. But you can find me on Twitter at UberTieGuy. Check me out on Slam Pigs Cruise Control, where we talk about the cruiserweights. And, yeah, like I said, Baron Corbin is U.S. champion. It's a good day.
It is. And Baron Corbin is definitely something we don't talk about at Cruise Control, so it'd be good to talk with that with you. And real quick, Michael, give him a little break here. First of all, he's a member of Cruise Control that's not a piece of shit from England. So... Colin, welcome aboard, man. Good to have you on the post show. And of course, Michael, you want to do your standard intro for the owner of the sub shop down the street?
I got some extras for him, though.
Do whatever you feel necessary.
I got some extra nicknames that I don't know if he's ever heard of for himself.
Go for it.
But we have Mr. 205 Live himself, the king of cold cuts, the owner of Logie's Hoagies, Big Papa Potbelly himself, Logan Myers. How you doing?
Oh, I'm
also,
doing
Hulk
fantastic.
Logan.
I love that name. Thank you, Michael.
Which one, Hulk
appreciate
Logan
it.
or Big Papa Potbelly?
I actually like Big Papa Pumpbelly.
I like how you just slipped it. Oh, by the way, Hulk Logan. You just slipped it in at the tail end. Go ahead, Logan. Where can everyone check you out? Your podcast, which I was just on yesterday, and all that good stuff.
You can check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. Check me out on Future Wrestling Podcast with Broski. Like, subscribe, and enjoy. And it's not Mr. Continuous with Colin. It's Mr. Cunt Bag.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, this
It's
show
off
is
to
a
a great
PG, in case
start.
you're wondering.
No, this is the battle of the heels when Logan and Michael are in the house. It's a one-up game at this point. Who can be the bigger heel? But let's do it, guys. I got to flat out admit, this show was a pleasant surprise. I was not hyped for anything except like the tag match and the cell matches, flat out. I thought the U.S. title had some potential. I was a lot more hyped when we found out during the show it was a triple threat, which what it should have been all along. But let's get right in for once, Michael. We had the families over, the kids, and all that stuff. We watched the pre-show. Don't fall over and pass out, Logan. Michael and I actually watched the whole fucking pre-show
Well,
this
sort of.
time. Sort of.
There's a lot of
I might have to take 2 heart pills. I might have to take 2 heart pills.
I gotta
swear to
flat out
God.
say it. I really enjoyed Gable and the Hype Bros a lot, except there was a.
No Shelton. Shelton wasn't in that match. Just Gable and the
I'm
Hype Bros?
sorry, Gable and Shelton and the Hype Bros.
Just
There was a
discriminate 'cause he's
segment like
black?
we missed the entrances. Will you be serious?
I'm just saying.
We walked in the middle of the match. The opening, like there was a series with Shelton and Ryder back and forth, which seemed like it was in slow motion. They were hitting the ropes, and like it was weird. I was like, I thought it was just me, and Michael looked at me at the same time, like, no, it's not just you. That was really fucking slow.
There's definitely 2 grizzled vets in there taking their time hitting those ropes.
Besides that part of it, though, this match was fine. Good tag match. Good way to kickstart a crowd, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Gable and Shelton, I like them. I mean, it's Alpha 2.0, but, you know.
To be honest, I didn't catch the finish of that match.
Well, let's ask.
I watched everything except for the finish because I went out and smoked cigarettes.
Throw it to one of our
Okay.
pallies.
Yes, let's go with Logan. Logan, I'm going to go ahead and cut Colin off already and give it to Logan.
Oh, God. Will you be serious?
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Colin, you know one thing about the 205 Live crowd. They don't stick around. So really, when we're watching a pre-show, the crowd reminds me of 205 because it's not the biggest crowd ever.
This is
So
true.
Lots of empty seats.
lots of empty seats.
Yep, visibly.
And I
Well, I
like-
mean, at least they started the match a little later in the pre-show than 15 minutes after the doors opened.
Shout out to Jeff Hardy. Get well soon.
And The Miz.
And a couple other guys over there.
Go ahead, Logan.
But the finish to the match was plain and simple. The Hype Bros just couldn't get the job done once again. They can't change their ways.
Did they scratch
was
each other's
Shelton
eyes
and
out at the
Jermaine.
end?
No, they did not. We didn't see anything with attacking or anything like that. Nothing whatsoever.
Did we ever get the fashion files either? I didn't catch
We
that
did,
part
and
either.
we
Yeah,
will
we
definitely
did.
get to that.
We
I
did.
caught all that. Do we think this is a good idea to put some edge on? Okay, first of all, Michael, if they do turn one of these guys heel, do you think it's Ryder?
If they do turn Ryder, I don't like it. If I'm going to turn one of them heel, I think it's Mojo Rawley. I think he's the more obvious guy that you just don't want to like. Like, I've already gone over this before.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before. Mojo Rawley just screams fucking meathead to me. Like that fucking guy you see that was the coolest guy ever in high school, and he's still partying when he's fucking 40, and he's always like, "Yeah, man, I'm awesome. Let's go party. Stay hype, bro." You know, yeah, that's that kind of guy to me. He's just that kind of guy that I just want to smack right
Sir
in the face.
Alberto Del Rio, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Oh.
except this guy.
Remember when he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Because I sure as hell don't.
Yeah,
Once upon a time, basically.
with help from his meathead friend Rob Gronkowski, another guy that I just love to hate.
Which is sad because I remember Cesaro winning better than that, and that was only a couple months ago when Mojo won, which is fucking sad.
Yep.
I
Colin,
remember when Corbin won.
I know. I think all four of us are in agreement. This is the angle nobody asked for. Nobody really gives two shits about.
Yeah.
But if you gotta, we have to analyze it. Colin, who do you think a heel turn benefits more out of the Hype Bros? If any, if you think we're gonna get one at all, maybe it's just friction teasing to a title win. Who the hell knows?
God,
I mean, obviously, after the Usos and New Day, I don't think that as much as I want them to fight forever, I think after this match it's over. I don't think the New Day is going to get a rematch for the titles, or if they do, they're just going to lose in a match on SmackDown and keep it going. So, I mean, maybe we finally get to see the Hype Bros win the titles. They were supposed to win them a little while ago, back when Zack Ryder blew his knee out in the Battle Royal, but, that didn't happen because Ryder blew his knee out. So, I kind of hope they win the titles, but if they're going to turn one of them heels, I'm kind of with Michael. I'd like to see Mojo because he's the one people want to hate, but it's probably going to be with Zack Ryder because Zack Ryder can make a better heel, in my opinion.
Yeah. Has there ever been an angle where they had friction in a tag team and ended up making the team stronger? Because I can't remember one off the top of my head. It leads to a breakup, usually, in WWE at least.
I mean, Cesaro and Sheamus, kinda.
Yeah, I mean, and you could say the same for Ambrose and Rollins. I mean, but
Right.
I don't think you've ever seen it like this teased this closely to a breakup where the team just succeeds anyway down the line. I think they're definitely headed towards a breakup here. If anyone cares. I mean, the WWE could pull another audible here and just say, okay, nobody cares about this. Let's just scrap it. Like they did before with this, because they originally tried to do it before, and now they're doing it again.
Basically, anybody else have anything to say on this opener on the pre-show before we get to the games? Go ahead, Logan.
Yes, I do. I'm gonna say who needs the turn them more. I think it's Mojo Rawley, and here's why. Everybody expects Zack Ryder to be the one to go heel because he walked out after the match after they lost a couple weeks ago. I think everybody expects that one dude that turns his back and just walks away is going to be the one that turns, and I think it's Mojo instead. I think they're going to do a little twist and turn on everybody. So I think only us four may actually agree with this.
Fuck, turn them both heel. Turn them both heel, make them a heel team. I mean, who really wants to get behind the hype?
You could do that,
Yeah.
where they, maybe it's Ryder given the veteran experience of, the fans never meant anything, didn't give me any wins, and he talks Mojo to the dark side. You could do that. Maybe we're spending too much time on the angle.
Yeah,
maybe we should move
yeah.
on.
I think we've spent at least 3 or 4 minutes.
Put Zack Ryder back with Kurt Hawkins. There we go.
There you go. Who cares?
Oh.
Basically. Hell in a Cell
about
kicked
that.
off, though. When the pre-show was ending, crowd popped. Couldn't see at first why. They lowered the cell. And at first I was like, why? But it makes total sense to spread out the cell matches. It made sense.
Another little side point here.
Yeah.
Don't want to cut you off.
Go ahead.
The ceiling.
Yes, the brand
ceiling.
new Little Caesars Arena in
Yeah.
Detroit. That looks amazing,
I like
spectacle-wise.
the
ceiling
lighting.
LEDs and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you guys dig that, Colin?
I like the arena look. I thought it looked semi-different from when it was the Joe Louis Arena.
Yeah.
Because didn't they remodel it and then rename it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the lighting. I enjoyed the lighting of the show.
Reminds me of Fremont
'Cause I
Street
thought
in Las Vegas.
Right.
If you've ever been there.
I have not. I think I'm going to avoid Vegas for a while.
Yeah, really.
Hurtful.
Our thoughts, in all seriousness, our thoughts go out to anyone in the Vegas area that may be listening,
Yeah.
or, family, all that stuff. Anyway, not to kill the shit flat. Kicked off with the tag match that was honestly, I was looking forward to this match more than KO and Shane. Quite
Oh,
frankly.
absolutely.
I think this match had high expectations, nonetheless.
And you know
It
what?
is lit.
I'm gonna say before I'll let you guys get to it, my take on the match. They delivered on the expectations, but in a different way. They did a way everyone was expecting this just back and forth, energetic.
Yeah.
But they did this hardcore.
Yeah, they went hardcore.
They did, and they really lived
really
up to the
blurred
penitentiary stuff.
They definitely blurred those PG lines, that's for sure.
And I think at the top of the show, real quick, I think that's what made both the cell matches to the best they've ever had in at least a decade. I just tweeted that before we went live, and I stand behind that. They were both so good, but they're both so different, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did you? Because I loved the tag title match. It was fine.
This had more. The tag title match had more of the hardcore feel, like you said, and the main event had more of just sheer physicality,
spectacle.
Yeah.
It told a well-rounded
Yes.
story.
Um,
But the opening
tag
match,
the tag match was awesome from the get go. They start with all 4 men just getting out of the ring at the same time, going to get some weapons. So they basically told the story right from the get go. This match is going to be hardcore. We're not fucking around. We're not going to do any flippity doo-dah shit. We're going to go get some weapons, beat the fuck out of each other. Obviously, the New Day had some weapons of their own that were catered to their gimmick. They had the rainbow kendo stick.
Yeah, that's great.
The different colored trombones under the ring.
Borrowing Pat Patterson's hardcore weapons, apparently.
But and then the Usos had their array of weapons. There were a couple spots I really enjoyed here. The one where they had one of the Usos in the corner of the cell there with all the kendo sticks,
and
kind of.
yeah.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
seen that.
I like that. And then the other one where they had Xavier Woods handcuffed there to the post, and then they were just beating the fuck
Get
out
to
of
it.
him.
We watched this together.
Yeah.
First time we watched pay-per-view in a while together.
Yeah.
You made a statement so many times, like, Jesus Christ, Xavier. He took the meat and potatoes of this match.
He was like the
flat out.
punching bag of the match. But
shout out to him.
I was really disappointed when he was handcuffed like that, and like Kane didn't just pop out with a car battery. Just like, I mean, well, he's there.
And also, shout out to Xavier. It's already made my top 5 of the year list. You can throw this on your blog. Shout out to Cheap Plug to your blog. Colin's thoughts nobody asked for this week, Colin. The Mortal Kombat spot with the gong, Michael. It has begun. One of my top 5 moments of the year. There you go.
That was definitely a nerd out moment.
It catered to my demographic.
Yes, you enjoyed it.
Finally.
Yes.
Anyway.
If I wasn't sitting next to you, I wouldn't have gotten it. And I've played Mortal Kombat.
Did this match live up to your expectations, Michael? And do you think it was a good way to flat out end it? the feud in general?
It definitely lived up to my expectations, but like you said, in a different way. It was a totally different match than I expected. My expectations for the match style itself were different, but the match quality of this I really enjoyed. I liked all the hardcore spots. Just start to finish, they kept you on the edge of your seat here. A lot of near finishes in this match where you think, all right, it's over, and then no, it's
Most
not over.
definitely.
So I mean, excitement level. This was one of my favorite matches of the year so far. I wasn't quite sure. I hadn't really seen a tag team Hell in a Cell match before this, so I wasn't really sure what to expect.
I think all we had to go on was like the McMahons versus DX or something.
Yeah, I'm sure they've had some before this, but none that really I remember very well. So they weren't that good if I didn't remember them. So I was wondering what style this was going to be, because I was like, are they going to have to stand out on the side ropes and wait for a tag?
Well, see, I think it's another case of the New Day always giving a little extra to stand out, and it's got nothing but success. You can totally tell.
Credit to the Usos.
I give it to both too, flat out. I should have said both. My bad. I think backstage it went, well, this is how I picture the booking of this match going down with the agents or whatever. Well, Shane's going off the top, so you guys can't do that. So then the New Day was like, well, fuck us. Because I could pretty much assume these guys really wanted to go up top, and they just weren't allowed.
Yeah.
Especially to cap off the feud. So they're like, what can we do to separate? You know what I mean? That's exactly what they did. So shout out to all 5 men in this match.
I'm surprised that the biggest surprise for me in this match was that Kofi wasn't in it.
He cried like a little baby, though, after. Good selling there.
Yeah, it was tremendous. That was the biggest surprise for me. I thought Woods would be the one left out of this match, but they went with Kofi on the outside.
What did our little flippy dippy analyst experts over here from 205 Live think, Michael? Which one do you want to pick? You picked Logan first last time.
All right, go ahead, Colin.
I thought the match was great. It was already match of the night before any of the other matches happened.
Yeah,
I think this match was definitely better than Shane versus Kevin Owens. Not by much, but definitely still match of the night. Definitely a match of the year candidate as well. I thought Big E almost killed himself like 4 different times. I'm still waiting for Big E to injure himself and have to retire because he botches that suicide spear that he always does.
Yeah,
it will be the downfall of his carear one day. But I mean,
like
I really
this may have been
the
genesis of Big E's coming out too, Colin, as like a single star. We saw a lot of him getting a strong push in this match.
Right, yeah, because I mean, he had there was the one part of the match where he was like pissed off and angry and just beating the crap out of both of the Usos, and it was really cool to see pissed off Big E. And I also love the electric chair suicide dive spot they had where one Uso had Big E up on his shoulders and the other launched him into the side of the cell. It was a great match.
I love Big E, but it's just hard to get past them tits.
How
many different times this match did we mention Travis Scotty's got some big
timestamp it, guys, on the episode. It's hard to get past them tits.
He's got some huge man tits.
Logan, are the tits hard to get past for you, or can you see a singles career for the big fella? Big Ernie.
Big Ern.
Honestly, looking at it, there's the question that just sticks out is what's left for the New Day to do anyways together. They've done so much with the tag team division. Do you separate Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston and remain them as the tag team division, and then Big E just stays with the New Day and then just goes for that single championship? I think that's remained. I think that'd be perfect,
like you said.
You put Xavier on 205, even spread him out all over. The next shakeup or draft.
Is he barbecue sauce?
The next shakeup or draft: Kofi on Raw, Big E on SmackDown, Xavier on 205.
I don't like it. I like keeping them together as a stable.
I mean, if I do too, I think they have more.
It would have to be because they choose to split up and go into the draft as single stars. Because if you remember, during the last Superstar shakeup, tag teams went in as tag teams, but the Lucha Dragons decided, all right, we're going to split up now and go in as single stars. So before the Superstar shakeup or like the day of, they would have to be like, all right, we're going in there alone, not as a team.
I think the difference would be though, like, as opposed to the Lucha Dragons and the New Day, they would analyze the details with the New Day angle with the draft more because they would give a shit. For one, it's not the Lucha Dragons. Let's be real. Why would they given us any reason to care about the Lucha Dragons since NXT? Since flat out, that's the last time anyone should have given a shit about the Lucha Dragons. Honestly, the way they booked them.
I don't know. You also have 2 former Intercontinental Champions in this trio.
Yeah.
So it's not like these guys can't make
Well,
it.
one of them was one of the worst reigns ever. Let's be real, Biggie. And I kind of think they want to erase that if they're going to do singles and forget that even happened if they do it. But I'm kind of with you, Michael. I kind of feel they've established themselves. They've been so successful, more than the company probably ever thought they'd be with this stable. They're kind of in Dudley Boys realm where they could go out and be single. And shout out to Bully Ray, does a great job. But you get that warm fuzzy feeling in your stomach when you see the Dudleys come back together. I feel like there's, I don't know.
Well, with the New Day, like I said, I could see them as just staying together as a stable, with Kingston and Xavier Woods staying in the tag team division and possibly Big E with the singles push. But I like them better as heels if you're going to do that. Because I think factions like that, you need that kind of help from your buddies from the outside, just like any other great faction. I mean, they all started out as heels.
Hollywood, Hulk Logan, what did you think of the tag title match?
The tag team title match inside the Hell in a Cell was spectacular. It gave us everything that we needed to look at it differently than what happens later on in the show. To me, again, I'm gonna stick to my guns and say the New Day merchandise sales wise, they're still over with the fans big time. There's no reason to split them out right now until they lose that spark. But it seems like every time they start losing that spark, they come back and they find a way to get us back into it, and they find that spark. So
Except
at the end
for
of
the
the
ice
day,
cream. The ice cream never got over with anybody because there was never any ice cream in the fucking thing.
Yeah,
it got over with Dash Wilder, who knocked over the ice cream truck and then used it to get into the ring.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, but at the end of the day, this is probably the best tag team Hell in a Cell match I've actually got to watch.
I agree. You know what? Coming out of this match, I was like, this is going to make my cranky old man come out. But I was like looking at this from I took a step back. Like, I hope this will make fans who, when they see a Hell in a Cell match, when they boo, when nobody goes up top, this will show them more like you don't need that to make it good. And of course, we didn't get that because the crowd booed later on. We'll get to the other Hell in a Cell match later on. But I think all of us, flat out, we really like the match. We would say go out of your way to check this out, all four of us.
One thing I can say for this is I would have hated to be anybody in that locker room after that match was over.
To follow it.
Yeah.
Well, you know
they
what
were probably like, holy shit.
They did follow it. And what they followed with was a pleasant surprise again.
U.S. title?
Yes. U.S. title match.
Segue right into the U.S. title match. Triple threat impromptu match. It was supposed to be one-on-one.
Earlier on, yeah.
Yes, it was supposed to be one-on-one with Baron Corbin challenging AJ Styles, but the Uber Ty guy himself, Ty Dillinger, Mr. Perfect 10, came in and basically said, hey, I beat Baron Corbin the other week, so I should be in the match. Basically, kind of like, come on.
But it was a validated point, and that's why I liked it in the storyline. Guy, I long for the days in vignettes like that where superstars actually have a fucking backbone and say, hey, motherfucker, as opposed to like, yes, ma'am, Stephanie. Yeah. Ugh, but how far we've come in a year.
Ty Dillinger's been around for a while. He
flat
wants a chance.
Flat out. I've already said this on Twitter today. A couple of you guys in the DMs. This is the best match Corbin has had. I realize it was a multi-man match, and it's easier to have a good match, but still, I think he came off my screen. I think finally for me, and the promo on Talking Smack, one of his better ones too. He's finally.
That's why I was late. I actually listened to the whole thing.
It's clicking. I think is the best. It's working for me at least because he's playing that cocky meathead prick to a T right now, and it works. And I saw a tweet earlier, and I couldn't let it slide. I try not to be that prick sometimes, but someone's like, "You guys fucking say that I don't get the hype behind Corbin as any kind of relevant or whatever." Like Styles and Dillinger, they get a reaction. Corbin gets no reaction like them. He's a fucking heel. He's supposed to be that.
What the hell do you expect?
I know, and it's guys. Just think about what you're tweeting out sometimes before you put in those 180, 280.
Oh my God, Baron Corbin, he's not getting no reaction at all.
But guys, before I review
it, a Jewish grandma.
Before I, excuse me.
Oh God, I got hangnails all over my fingers.
Oh, I got a cup of tea.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
Wow.
Did you say I'm calling and I can't get up, or I've fallen and I can't?
I mean, it's still accurate.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of the devil, speaking of the continuous Colin himself, before any of us review it, I know somebody who's so hyped about this Baron Corbin title win. He invaded streams with his excitement earlier. Shout out to James Hebert. He's blown up my DMs. He's blown up Twitter. Colin, finally your guy did it. I know you're ecstatic.
Herbie.
Oh yeah, I was.
Herbie.
The thing is, I picked AJ Styles to retain, And then Ty Dillinger got added to the match in the pre-show, and I was like, "Oh shit, are they gonna do it? Are they gonna do it?" Because I figure, okay, they're not gonna add Dillinger unless Dillinger's taking the pin or winning the match. And let's be honest, it's Ty Dillinger. I love the guy, I really do, but he was gonna take the pin. And so Corbin finally doing something. I mean, he won the Battle Royal, which was fine, but I mean, once the dud happened with Money in the Bank and he never did anything in NXT of huge note, I'm really, as a Baron Corbin fan, I'm fucking thrilled that he finally won the United States Championship.
I kind of figure since they made Ty eat the pin, and sorry, Mike, I'll let you.
Go ahead.
Since they made Ty eat the pin and Styles didn't, I think they're gonna, and Jinder retain. I think that's the angle going in Survivor Series is Styles and Jinder. But Michael, go ahead.
But to reiterate on your point of his lackluster NXT run, Baron Corbin in NXT always struck me as like the Triple H of NXT. He was always working the guy that was drawing the money.
He struck me as the Goldberg of NXT his first year or so because they hid his flaws because he'd have 30-second matches. Remember, the fans would count along.
Yeah, but then when he got pushed up to the upper echelon,
and that's when everybody fell off.
He was always working with the baby face that was drawing.
I've never seen bigger hypocrites than that time in Baron Corbin and his infancy in NXT. People were complaining, right, that he was only working 30-second squash matches. Oh, he sucks because he can't work. And then they gave him more time to show that they boo that. It's like they could never be oh God, I dread that time at Baron Corbin.
But I'll reiterate more on the match after we go to Big Papa Potbelly himself, Logan. What did you think of this match?
For a triple threat, and I honestly, when Todd Dillinger was added to the matchup, I was actually thinking, hey, they could pull a swerve on the fans and actually have Ty win the match.
That's what I was.
But I knew. Is that what you were?
Yes, I'm a big Ty Dillinger fan, but
I
was kind of hoping it would happen too.
Yet.
But the thing is with me with Ty is like. Yeah, he is over. He has something that is different from everybody else. He has been taking a lot of losses lately, and then he gets this big win over Baron Corbin. I thought at the end of the day he needed this match to like I guess take him and let him jump on a trampoline, and you get him higher up in the ranks. That's what he needed. AJ Styles doesn't need the title. He can move on to Jinder Mahal, like Travis said. Baron Corbin, to me, is a better fit going after the championship. And I'll say this again later in the show.
By all means. And that was the U.S. title match. I would say it really surprised me. It was really done. Really well done, I should say. The people complained about the finish of how Corbin just came in. Legit.
He's a heel.
It made sense too. It's not like he just gracefully, like he fucking kicked the shit out of Styles. You know what I mean? Like it was good.
Let's be honest. That's how a lot of triple threat matches go. You have the big finishing move, and then someone else comes in, moves the other guy aside, and gets the win. And by the way, Travis, I did want to say, I think this was his second best match. I still think his chairs match with Kalisto, I think last year's TLC was pretty damn good too.
That's how.
Well, I mean, if you're done cutting me off for the night, do you think I can review this match, there, Colin?
He didn't even
go
cut
ahead,
you off that
Michael.
time.
Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you. I enjoyed this match. I have a few things I want to analyze from this match. One, Ty Dillinger being added to the match tonight. Do you think that was because of Corbin? Do you think they felt like maybe they needed an extra person in this match to really help Corbin out? Because as good as AJ Styles is, him in a one-on-one match with Corbin.
I just said it. I feel like it's an easy way to keep Styles strong heading into a WWE title match because he doesn't need any title right now. He's you can just pop him in and out of the main event.
This is the best Corbin match you've seen in a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wonder if it's because he didn't have to actually work the whole match.
That's what I said though when I was like, maybe because he was taking a little bit, he wasn't exposed.
I personally disagree with you, Travis.
He didn't get a lot of
shots. AJ Styles doesn't need to not be involved in the pinfall to keep credibility going into the WWE Championship match. I think AJ Styles is too big of a person, too big of a superstar on WWE at all, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whatever. A loss is not going to really hurt him in the long run. So Ty Dillinger could have won the match, or Baron Corbin could have won the match, and I think these two could have kept going with the feud in the next months coming, and then have AJ Styles go over. But that's just me.
I'm still behind the idea whenever there's a shakeup or draft next, you swap Styles and Reigns. You put Reigns on SmackDown. You catch because it's tanking. People need a reason to watch SmackDown. They've stacked Raw so goddamn much, and Styles is the most over guy on the roster right now.
But the other thing I want to analyze on this match.
Saw Cena there.
Yeah,
never know.
Cena's in a different part of his career.
Raw is stacked, and if they're building toward this future, you know what I mean.
But Reigns is always going to be the focal point of that show.
They can always do the free agent thing with Reigns too, which they would. They couldn't help themselves.
My thing with Ty Dillinger, to reiterate on, what Colin said, he always thought he was going to be the guy eating the pin. I was excited about it because I'm a big Ty Dillinger fan. I know the long road he's had to travel just to get here. I mean, who knew? Back in 2006 or 7, when he was getting super kicked by Shawn Michaels backstage, this guy was going to be a fucking a star 10 years later.
What was his name in FCW?
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
They called him Stan.
I remember that, and I'm trying.
I just kicked Stan.
I'm trying to think of the terrible name they gave him when he was in FCW in late 2000s.
I can't remember.
It was
that.
awful.
But my point being,
I got you. I'll look it up.
All right,
Dillinger's finally made it to the big show. You know what I mean? He's on the main roster. He has so many great qualities to him. The only thing I think he's missing right now to really get him into a title run, we need to see some evolution of this character. This perfect 10 character. It's a great entrance. That's great. But he's not really matching his backstage personality a little bit.
He's not killing it on the mic now either.
No. So I think I would like to see a little more outlandish character from him. I don't want to borderline on comedy.
Kind of like what they gave to Zayn before he turned heel.
Yeah, I don't want to borderline on comedy. I don't think he should be comedy, but I would like to see more of an outlandish, maybe a little geekier character from him, or maybe a little cocky character from him. I'm the perfect 10. You know what I mean? Something easy.
And
like
I think they're going to the creatives agrees with you, and I think we're going to see that more. The problem with those. There's a fine line to walk to do it too much, and they always do it too much when they try to liven a guy's character up, pal.
I think Ty Dillinger definitely needs it.
I agree.
I think once you give him a little more evolution to his character, so people can really get on board with it a little more, not just with his entrance, because obviously he's getting a big pop when he comes out. But during his matches, is anybody really popping for his in-ring style or anything he's doing while he's in the ring?
I think they do. I think they're invested when he's in there. But he's also shiny and new still a little bit on the
to me he's a little bland in the ring. But I think
I
think a little more.
I think he does.
He needs a new finisher.
I think a little more personality in the ring would do him some good. More facial expressions, little things like that. It doesn't have to be moveset so much. I'm just saying something that gets the crowd more invested.
You can say that for 80% of the roster.
Yeah, I would like to see facial reactions do wonders. Look at Kevin Owens in that match tonight.
It's going to take.
He told a story without saying a word with his face. I mean, you could tell by his facial expressions. That's a top guy. Top guys can tell stories with their face. You know what I mean? The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, all those kind of guys could tell a story without saying a word. You know what I mean? It's all how you look with your face, your reactions to certain things, and that's what I think Ty Dillinger needs. He needs maybe a little more refining as far as how to react to things in the ring, and off camera or on camera a little bit backstage. I'd like to see a little more evolution.
You know who else needs it desperately? I'll straight up say it, and we're going to review this match later. You know who needs to be sent down to NXT is Shinsuke Nakamura. He's not fucking ready. He does not capture a crowd. He's not. We'll get to that though.
We'll get to that. But as far as the match itself,
that's not a phrase I thought I'd hear before. But
how is he capturing the crowd besides anything but his entrance?
This guy cuts me off one more time.
Oh, stop it.
I'm just going to fucking snap.
He's not cutting anybody off.
I'm just saying. But as far as the match goes, I really enjoyed the match. I thought it was a fairly entertaining match. It was put in the worst spot of the night, if you ask me.
The United States title match.
To follow that.
But I think they got the crowd
match.
invested. It's credit to them.
I mean,
that's why I say it was a pleasant surprise.
AJ Styles was definitely
he was all over the place in this match. AJ Styles broke his back to make this match salvageable. And it was beyond salvageable. It was really good.
And the crowd went ape shit for AJ Styles. They voiced their opinion on who their favorite was, and he definitely took the cake. Took a little shine off of Dillinger, which is the only problem with putting Dillinger in this match.
It's fine. He's still early, though. It's fine.
AJ Styles definitely made this match what it was.
Jinder Mahal was in 3MB.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all you need to know.
But AJ Styles did everything he could to make this match what it was, and he did. He was the focal point of this match, which rightfully so. Even with the finish, it was him getting. You don't remember so much that Corbin won. You remember how fucking hard he kicked AJ to the outside to get the pin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he definitely stiffed that kick. But, yeah, good match. I'm not a big Corbin fan. I don't know if he could ever reach anything beyond this, to be honest with you. And people might disagree with me. That's fine. I just think character-wise, he's very bland. I did like his promo and talking smack. But in the ring, I still feel like he's kind of bland as well. I think his matches can borderline on boring. Just kind of snoozy in the ring a little bit, kind of phones it in sometimes.
But I feel like when they book him with a guy that he has chemistry with, that it's never really boring because he has in my opinion, every time he's in there with Styles, they have a good chemistry. It's also Styles. Yeah. But him and Dillinger had a good match on SmackDown last week, which I didn't get to review.
Dillinger also a guy who's been in the business for a long time. So
well, I'm just saying.
He needs some.
I'm just saying. Stranger things have happened to guys who just waltz in the business and get a title.
Look at his match with Nakamura.
The fucking Warrior who we're making breast cancer for now.
I'm just saying.
Was a guy straight off the streets thrown in the business.
I'm just saying. Look at his matches with people like Nakamura and other guys where you're like, God, is this match over yet? So
that's what we're going to get into later.
And you don't. If you're going to be a top guy, you can't have matches like that.
We'll get. Did this bring us to Rusev and Randy next on the show?
No, I wanted to say one more thing.
I mean, Logan cut me off. You want to yell at Logan, or is Logan going to pass?
Logan, stop it.
Oh.
By the way, Travis, his name was Gavin Spears in FCW.
Yes, it was Gavin Spears, and it always reminded me they're
that's a Vince name.
No, that was FCW. Vince didn't watch FCW. But it was like
his
like
name
Dusty.
on the Indies was Sean Spears. And
it was like Dusty or somebody in the writing in FCW coming up with names and like browsing through YouTube at the time.
Let's call him Gavin.
They watch a Bush video and they watch a Britney Spears. They're like, oh, Gavin Rosdale, Britney Spears, Gavin Spears. That's how bad that was. Jesus
Gavin.
Christ.
Let's call him Gavin.
Rusev. Randy Orton, Logan, real quick before we get to that, you had something to say.
Well, me and Michael don't usually agree, like, a lot, like 110%. So when we do, I like to give you a reason why. I'm a big fan of Ty Dillinger, and there is the little things that he needs to work on. What, like Michael said, I think he needs a new finisher because there's a guy in NXT that kind of has the same move, you know,
and
it's just
company.
I thought his finisher
exactly.
I thought it was like
go to sleep basically.
No, it's he puts a spin on
to me, it's just
a tiebreaker, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, come on.
Colin, come on, man. You're the final vote on
whatever
this.
bookend's different than the rock bottom.
The bookend is different than the rock bottom. The Rock takes it on his stomach. Booker T goes to his knees. That's what's the difference. Is there a difference in the bookend and the rock bottom, Logan? Come on.
I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm just going to...
Oh, for fuck's sake. Sitting on the fence Myers. That's my gimmick for you. Pick a side.
You know what? It isn't different. Okay.
Oh, fuck you, Logan.
See that? Yeah,
it's totally different. They're definitely different moves.
Oh,
Thank
you,
Colin.
shut the fuck up.
There is.
Uber new Thai guy. Jesus.
Shut up.
Weren't you some Guido Parmesan cheese guy last week?
What an insult to tell someone they got a brand new tie. I'll show you with your new tie.
Fucking Guido
when
Parmesan
I get a new
cheese.
tie, it's a celebratory occasion.
Well, we've got slam pigs, we've got cheese, we've
Don't
got
use
hoagies.
big words either. I'm not stupid.
We have all the ingredients, Michael, for a post Hell in a Shell buffet. We've got pigs and hoagies and.
Oh, we're having Hell in a Shell now. Is that
Hell
like
in a Shell?
Is that on special?
Swell in a Cell.
Is that on special at the local restaurant?
But the bounce off what Michael said is, but when it comes to Ty Dillinger, when I hear the word perfect 10, I think of somebody that gets wins. He needs to stop eating losses.
That's what's going to make the crowd fall in love with him, though. The lovable loser, in a way. To a T. He can't lose all the goddamn time.
And then look what happened.
There's no such thing as a lovable loser, Logan?
No.
Daniel Bryan won the title at WrestleMania 30. I'm pretty sure that happened. It was one of the best moments in WrestleMania in the last 10
nobody
years.
ever really saw him as a lovable loser.
Really? The way he was booked?
No.
The way the fans demanded that the lovable loser get his day in the sun?
He got the dark horse thing.
It's the epitome of the lovable loser story, the Daniel Bryan saga. What are you talking about?
He got the dark horse gimmick from his size,
Fine.
not because he
Spike
lost
Dudley,
all the time.
lovable loser. Let's move on.
There you go.
Rusev and Randy Orton. Michael, what did you think of this? Pissed me off, too, because Jesus Christ. I know that they broke kayfabe when they came out and said they were getting engaged 2 years ago now on Twitter with Lana and Rusev. How bad does this man piss people off backstage?
This match itself wasn't a terrible match, but like you said, when does Rusev get to go over? It's like, how many people does he have to work before he gets? I mean, he's always that guy.
Not one of these matches. He's
always that guy that's working top talent that never gets over.
And it's not a kind of feud.
How is he supposed to stay credible?
Nobody wants to keep seeing rematches. Yeah, so it's like, what's the fucking...
You can only have him attack the guy on SmackDown so much to get over.
Well, it's to get this young up-and-comer babyface Randy Orton over, Michael, with the crowd.
Yeah, that's what he needed to. Because Randy Orton...
Well, I want to apologize, Michael, ahead of time, but you do know he gets over every single night with Lana.
Well, that's a different story.
Hey-o.
That's a different story. I think her pussy stinks, to be honest with you. When I look at her, it says she speaks stanky pussy to me. But
so does Collins.
What?
So does Collins.
Oh, let's see. That's
I've really got to start putting the parental advisory thing. You got to click before these episodes.
I'm sorry,
I don't right now.
Lana, if you've ever watched the Total Divas thing, she's so fucking stupid for one. She's so dull personality-wise. She just looks like a woman that doesn't maintain very good maintenance on her vagina. The character
she portrays is more tolerable than her as an actual person,
yes,
I would say.
Her as an actual person, I would not be interested in one bit.
But Lana's nowhere near this match. Michael, I know this pissed you off to finish, and I will agree, this is the best match they've had.
When does Ruru get to go over a little bit?
He doesn't. Let's be real.
Like, Jesus Christ.
It's rose-colored glasses.
Is it because...
And it's going to happen on SmackDown this week,
but no one's going to remember strap, we can't have two fucking foreign heels going over?
And quite frankly, this feud isn't...
Rusev's better than the other fucking guy. Too.
Exactly. He's the one that should be in Jinder's spot.
I feel like this feud isn't worth getting worked up for. That's why I kick myself some.
Can we just put them back together, Lana and Rusev?
On one hand, Michael, we have a guy who, quite frankly, is established enough where he could phone it in all the time. He doesn't give a shit in Randy Orton. The epitome of not giving a shit's Randy Orton. And another guy who seems like he's on his way out and is just not giving a shit. He could be edited.
Why would he give a shit?
Why would he give a shit? They just don't see it in him. They hate him. Fuck, I don't know. Colin, what did you think of this match and Rusev's career right now in general? Or do you think we're overreacting a little
Rusev can actually speak English.
Maybe we're overreacting.
Unlike Shinsuke.
Yeah. Cut a promo without closing his eyes the whole time.
Sounds like a little kid with fucking...
It's like a slur problem. My name is Shinsuke.
Go ahead, cop.
Or that little kid with braces.
Yeah. The Miz girl fan?
The girl from South Park. Oh, Sky.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I thought somebody hates the Miz. But...
Yeah, but go ahead, Colin.
I thought the match itself was fine. I'm so tired of... Like, I get it. I feel like this entire feud was just management's way of saying, Randy, thank you so much for putting Jinder over 3 straight shows. We'll give you Rusev. It'll be fine.
Or they're still
thanking that's him. What this feud screams to me.
They're still thanking him for his service to Brock Lesnar killed him at SummerSlam like 2 years ago, too.
Exactly.
You couldn't put him with fucking Ziggler or something who's already on his way out. You had to feed him to Rusev. I mean, or you had to feed Rusev to him. I'm sorry. It's
stupid. Like I said, the match itself, fine. The outcome, stupid.
Ridiculous, actually. Stupid. Like, what? If nobody, and yes, there's a fine line we complain about all the time, so we don't let's cover our ass. We complain about even Steven booking all the time. But eventually, a guy has to, heel or babyface, in an angle, in a match, in a finish, has to get some sort of heat back, more than just like a run-in or jumping him before a bell on a pay-per-view. But when he loses the goddamn match anyway, it means nothing, like the last pay-per-view. This has just been a waste of time, flat out. And I think Logies would agree.
Hurt my feelings a little bit.
Me too.
Because Rusev has the same haircut as my son. So I have a little soft
does.
spot.
Can confirm.
Rusev can go in the ring, and he's not half bad on the microphone either. So that's the sad part about it, you know. He's got a better character. He's a better in-ring, better physique, in my opinion, than Jinder Mahal. So in the long run, Rusev
totally
eating losses is... I know, but I'm saying, like I can take Rusev seriously way better and way more than fucking Jinder Mahal.
Rusev's got the power lifter look, and Jinder's got the bodybuilder look. So it depends on what you prefer there. You're obviously...
I was going to say pimples look, but okay.
A what?
The pimples look. You know,
well, that's back knee. That's common for steroids. But...
Don't tell him that. He'll throw you down on Twitter and tell you why he is.
Nobody out diets him. I'll never forget that shitty promo he cut. But I'm just saying. I agree with you on some points there, Logan. I've never been a big Jinder fan. That's not a secret. I never understood the fact on why they made him the champion, and second, why they've kept it on him for so long. But
if you were to switch
these two used to be a
I'll
tag
cut you
team.
off again.
That's the funny part. If you were going to put these two in a tag team, and after they split up, he said, "We're gonna make Jinder the champ."
They switched roles.
I would have fucking laughed at
They
you.
switched roles.
I would have fucking been like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna make Jinder the champ? You're not gonna make Rusev the champ?" Because Rusev has such a proven track record with working against top talent. Now, not always going over most of the time, but still, he's in the match that you're actually interested in.
I kind of like
Jinder
the
Mahal,
idea.
even as champion, is usually in matches that I don't give a shit about.
Yep. Exactly.
And from what I've read, he's not doing much for their demographic in India. They're keeping it on him for their India tour that's coming up, I believe, this week or next week.
Yep.
And I'm guessing they're really going to see how great the attendance is. Do you really need Jinder Mahal on your card to fill a crowd in India? The guy's not from India anyway.
Yeah.
He's from Canada.
And the fans know that. That's why
He's from Canada.
That's why they calm down. That's why they give him a monster reaction in Canada when he comes, because they know.
Jesus Christ.
But also,
we're not stupid, Vince.
I mean, people can come at me. This is what I would do with Rusev right now. Call me crazy. I really like that little pairing with Aiden English as like his little Ricardo Rodriguez. And you bring Lana back. You make that like the Miz is kind of stable, but a SmackDown version of it. This Russian something or Bulgarian something or other kind of group. So just put any kind of fucking sizzle or interest on Rusev at this fucking point. Because when Aiden English sung for him, it was okay. It was funny.
Love the song.
I'm sure you did. Nikolai Volkov's biggest fan is you.
I love me some Aiden English. I'm not going to lie to you. I love him too. I think he's got a lot of promise that they don't utilize. But yeah,
he put Rusev over more on the pre-show than any of the bookers have and since Rusev's actually had his debut.
Absolutely.
But that's okay. That's sad too.
And Lana is so great for Rusev. I think she just added to his appeal.
But she's giving beauty tips to Tamina right now, Michael. We're too busy doing that.
Let's go with the bulldog.
Even doing that?
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's clean it up. Did that take us?
Come on. When you see Tamina, what do you think?
Nia Jax. All right, let's move on.
Nia Jax, really?
Yeah.
Nia Jax wears makeup.
I think of
Nia Jax doesn't look like a man.
I think of it's like you get a Pepsi at Walmart or you get the generic Great Value brand at Walmart. She's like the Great Value brand of Nia Jax. Tamina Jax. Look at that.
Tamina can't even work.
That's why I just
said
that.
She can't talk or work.
What was
Nia
next?
Jax can actually work.
Let's please get this bad taste of Rusev jobbing again. What was
Wait,
next?
Travis, before you move on, you guys were saying like Rusev and Jinder Mahal a lot. Think about it. If you were to switch the roles each men have had the last few months, I guarantee no one would have a problem. If Rusev was where Jinder is right now and Jinder was doing what Rusev was, no one would have a problem with that.
Nope. Because Rusev is, for one, I don't want to say credible, but believable, I guess, is the word more. And just, I don't know, perception's reality.
He could actually put on a good match.
He's been booked as a monster heel before, and it clicked, and that's what got him in the first place. Stuff like that.
Plus, I love the camel clutch.
Way more well-rounded, let's say it, than Jinder Mahal. He's flexible for one in the fucking ring. He can bend his legs and move and shit like that. Way better than Jinder.
Doesn't have back knee.
I totally agree, though, Colin.
This is true. Plus, if Rusev became WWE champion over Jinder Mahal, we never would have had the Punjabi prison match.
Yeah, and look, hindsight's 2020.
Which was such a great match.
Oh, yeah.
One off that they had fucking Great Khali come out for.
Oh, yeah. That was... Yeah. I fell asleep. Or I just walked off of that main event that week. I don't think you were on the show then. I think you were taking your hiatus.
No, I was on.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I just tried to forget. Yeah, I agree. The roles should have been flipped. And basically, I think everyone on this show, except you, Michael, was open to change, with giving it a shot at first. And Backlash, I think that fans in general were like, don't hinder Jinder. Now it's like we've seen enough fucking Jinder.
I knew what it was going to be.
I was all on board with Jinder.
And then you try to give it a chance.
I knew what it was going to be. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm sorry. He's been around for a while. He was never good in the ring.
But he wasn't an old dog because he's never been put in that caliber of role, so it was new all around.
You've seen him in matches.
Not in a main event title picture.
Yes, I'm talking about. You've seen him.
You've seen him in 2-minute job matches in 3.
You also seen him in house show matches.
Well, yeah,
where but
that was this year too, right before they pulled the trigger.
Finn Balor.
With Balor.
And the match sucked.
It did. It sucked.
A Finn Balor match sucked.
Look, and shout out to my buddy Vic Venom Bites on Twitter. He's a good guy, but come at me. Him and I had a little discussion this week about Jinder. And
plus, he hurts people.
That's the house show I brought up to him. Like, I flat out, I've seen Jinder live, man. It's not good. And people, I feel like they stick to their guns because they don't want to admit they were wrong. Like, I was wrong. I thought I might have seen something at Jinder first. I was wrong. Call it. It's been a bust. It's been a complete, because nobody gives a shit right now.
The most entertaining part about Jinder Mahal is the Singh brothers.
Even the thrill of the chase.
That's it.
It's not a thrill of the chase. At this point, there's a difference between the thrill of the chase and when will it just be over. I think it's just, and I'm not even the biggest Nakamura fan at all. I'm a fan, but I think now tonight was the night to do it.
They're trying to make Jinder Mahal like the Indian version of JBL with his fucking his cabinet or whatever he had, and it's
thank God Orlando Jordan didn't come back.
but at least JBL could work a little bit. And Jinder Mahal is so bland in the ring, it just makes you want to go take a piss. Like, I literally, in the middle of Shinsuke and Jinder tonight, I went and smoked a cigarette.
Crowd chanted, "This is boring," audibly.
Yeah,
lots of cussing tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's cap that off. Kevin Owens said, "God damn." There was like
Didn't he say fuck?
There were two different fans that were audibly saying, "This is crazy shit," and something else with shit or fuck in it that was like muted late. Lots of cussing.
Somebody said fuck tonight. I don't know who it was.
What did this lead us to, Logan?
He did.
Yes. What did this lead us to, Logan, after Rusev and Randy? Was this the women's title?
I'm pretty sure it was the WWE Women SmackDown Live Women's Championship. It was Natalya defending against Charlotte.
I left.
Can I go first?
I left, so I can't review.
Go ahead, Michael. Michael. I'm giving you out the red carpet. Go ahead.
I just want to go first on this one because this was my most underwhelming match of the night.
Bobby Roode.
I was so excited for this match because I saw what they did in NXT together, and I thought about the possibilities in this match, how good these two women are, and this match totally did not deliver for me. I get the old school psychology in here, selling the leg. That's great. But this match to me was a snooze fest. It was a lot of just Natalya kicking her on the ground.
The ends didn't justify the means.
It
for
really
wading through a rest hold and shit like that.
But this match was not nearly as good as I feel like it could have been. This match could have been so technically solid, and it just wasn't there because of however the way they decided to do this match. I don't know if it was between the two ladies or the booking. This match, it felt like it dragged for me. And I was not expecting that for this match. I was not expecting this match to drag. Because they just put the belt on Natalya. And I was expecting Natalya to really kind of carry it for a little bit because that's what they want. Until they eventually, I'm guessing, are going to put it on Carmella.
Shout out to Megan Starr in the chat real quick.
Yes.
For stop button.
Hey, Megan.
She said she never liked gender. She didn't give it a
Thanks
chance.
for not including me on your follower Friday, by the way, bitch. But
you never used Twitter anyway. Maybe she was being generous.
Just
so you
saying,
didn't get your phone blown up for something you don't use.
I use it. I just it hurt my feelings a little bit. Whatever, Meggers. But this match for me was such a disappointment, and I did not expect it. And I'm sorry you didn't get to watch it, Travis, because you would have been just as pissed off.
Like I said, we had all of our kids over for this.
Yes, this
so
match.
I was doing shit in the kitchen.
This match was.
But I didn't hear the crowd going ape shit either, so I knew nothing I missed.
Super boring, to be honest with you. There wasn't a whole lot to write home about in this match. The finish obviously was a schmoz with Natalya just using a chair out of nowhere to keep the title. But there was really nothing in this match to really warrant her using a chair because she controlled most of this match. There was never a time in this match where I felt like Natalya was going to lose the title. That's my only problem with her using the chair at the finish here. There was never a time where Charlotte got any real sustained offense to where I'm like, okay, Charlotte's getting ready to go over. No, she didn't. It was pretty much cut off every time she got anything going. So when this happened at the end, I was like, okay, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But I was also like, thank God this match is over. And I never thought I would say that about this match because you quite possibly have the two best workers in the company working each other.
Longtime listeners of our show go back a year ago, the way we used to compliment, just glorify Charlotte matches because a year ago, not the Hell in a Cell.
I still love Charlotte, but I love Charlotte in the ring no matter what.
Her booking for me is like Bobby Roode right now. They're both terrible babyfaces.
No, she should not be a babyface. But and Natalya is not a great heel. But Natalya needs to embrace more of a heel gimmick. I know she's so fucking bland.
She doesn't have it in her.
She's so bland.
She's a heart, Michael.
She's so bland with her heel stuff.
They're not known for their overwhelming charisma
shut up,
except
Charlotte.
for Owen.
Yeah.
Owen was the only one.
And her taunt is so bland. I would have loved, you know what I would have loved in this match with as much as she was working that leg and Charlotte was limping around. I would have loved to have seen Natalya mock her a little bit and go limp around and stuff, making fun of her. Yeah. That would have been great heel tactics.
There you go.
But instead you get Natalya standing over her going, You can't see me,
Look,
but she's just doing like this.
you got to calm down. You're giving away free heel lessons because Logan's writing it down right now on a post-it note.
Well,
This 101 you're dropping.
I'm just saying, her heel tactics are so bland.
Speaking of Logan, our guest, Logan, what did you think of the ladies'
Very
title
disappointed.
match?
Very disappointed. It was a flat line. Just fell flat for me. Something just needed to be added to the match to make it better than what it was. Psychology is a great thing, but sometimes too much is way too much, and then sometimes too much is less, and sometimes less is too much. But in my opinion, now this would have been the perfect. This would have been the perfect spot.
You on board with that, Colin? You keeping up? Because I tried.
Yeah, I was getting through that. Then he said, I had no idea what was going on there, but go on.
Shut up, Colin. Nobody asked you besides
I asked him.
Travis.
I literally asked him.
Travis asked me.
Travis, stop it.
Colin, I just wanted to feel less stupid and throw it on somebody else. So now, go ahead, Logan. I'm a terrible person.
My thing is, this would have been a perfect position, perfect spot for Charlotte to get the late comeback, pin Natalya, then Natalya attack her after the match, storm off because she lost the match in frustration. Then Carmella come out of the audience and just bam, cash in. The knee's taken out, everything on Charlotte's done. This would have been a perfect spot where they actually fixed what was the mistakes in the match itself.
You know how I would.
They could have still done that in the end. They could have still had the ending where Natalya, gets the DQ finish, but Charlotte, fights back, bloodies up Natalya, leaves her in the ring like a mess, and Carmella comes in, cashes in, and still leaves champion.
You know how I think they're going to do it, and this is how I would do it. I still think it's too soon to have Carmella cash in. You wait till Survivor Series, right? Because they're going to have a women's Survivor match. But Carmella and Natalya on the same team, right? And you have them dominate. You bring it down. You have them be the victors, the last two sole survivors. Right after that, Carmella hits her from behind with the briefcase, cashes in right there. There's never been a cash in with two Survivor Series team members. It'd be a first time. Would get people's attention. I think put some sizzle on it.
I don't like it.
I love
what?
I don't mean to come all over my own stuff usually, but I love that idea. Shout out to me.
I'm gonna use that idea, but I'm gonna twist it a little bit. Carmella cashes in on the Raw Women's Championship match, and then she moves on because they're gonna have that brand shake up again, the roster shake up.
You definitely own a hoagie shop and you're a chef because you put a cherry on the sundae. That makes it even better. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe they've done that on purpose, where they've never said it's a SmackDown title shot exclusive, Michael. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think tonight should have been the time to do it, like these guys said?
If they had the match in the Hell in a Cell, yeah.
In the cell?
Yeah, if they had a Hell in a Cell match, I would have definitely booked Carmella's cash in. But
I'm glad they didn't do 3.
And it would have been.
I'm glad they kept it.
It would have been with Charlotte winning the match and then getting cashed in on, to set up later down the line with Charlotte eventually getting the belt. But I think it doesn't make any sense for Carmella to cash in on Natalya. I don't think, at least booking wise.
I do the way they've been doing it on SmackDown. I think that's why there was the twist tonight. You didn't expect with Carmella to kind of assist. And I don't know.
Keep
it up with SmackDown because I have to. Trust me, lady.
It doesn't make sense to me. If they were, this would have been the perfect opportunity to have a Hell in a Cell match, for the women's title, and then have the cash in.
I disagree.
Yeah, the story was not a Hell in a Cell kind of feud.
No. Well, I mean, neither was the.
I'm not saying the storyline made sense. I'm just saying if you're going to have her cash in, she needs to cash in on babyface for one, because she's a heel. Whether you like it or not, she's a heel. So a babyface needs to have the belt for her to cash in. It doesn't make any sense for a heel to cash in on a heel. That's my biggest problem with your idea there, Travis. Not that it doesn't have some good qualities there. Maybe if they did like a wild card match with the women,
well, I think
like if they were doing SmackDown versus Raw, and you had a babyface champion on SmackDown, like if they still kept the belt on Naomi or something, if you had her and Carmella as like even if Naomi was the sole survivor in the match, or if she eats the pin to end the match, then you have Carmella, who had already been eliminated, come back out, cash in her briefcase, hit her finish, and win the title. That's how I would do it if you're going to do it at Survivor Series. The heel cashing in on a heel thing just doesn't make sense.
I disagree, and I think having a heel not all the time. I agree with that. If you do it all the time, then it's like, what's the point of heels and faces anymore? I think it's fine to do this once in a while, and I think this would be key because you have two heels going out of it. Somebody's got to be the bigger piece of shit. So I think that enhances them being, well, wow, she was a bigger heel than that heel or something. I think in a way, so it's a good way to do it. I wanted to say I disagree that, and I don't mean keep disagreeing with you. We just
That's
have
fine.
different philosophies. I'm not a big fan usually of Hell in a Cell matches, especially in the last decade. Flat out, there hasn't been a lot of reason to be. They've just been
You ever
matches
seen
that
a
didn't.
cash in a Hell in a Cell match?
I don't know.
Never.
I don't remember.
Look it
I
up.
don't know.
Never happened.
There you go.
No cash in has ever happened in a Hell in a Cell match.
I feel like a lot of times in the last 10 years, especially with Hell in a Cell matches, they've been excellent. Rollins and Owens comes to mind last year. Didn't need a cell because it wasn't really used. It didn't help enhance the story. It was just like, well, we got a pay-per-view. We got to put a cell in something. I'm glad they didn't do 3. And I say I don't usually like Hell in a Cell matches because the only 2 times for me, the only 2 real good ways to do a Hell in a Cell match, there's only 2 real ways to do that. And they did both of those ways tonight. So I don't know what the women could have done to put them in there. They would have just had a lackluster match just with a cell around it.
Well,
because they would have been given restrictions from the agents backstage anyway. Be like, don't
the only
do
problem
this.
I would have had with the cell match is the storyline they've run for this match wouldn't have made sense to have a cell.
Yeah, it hasn't been
But if they
intense
could have had,
enough,
if
right.
they could have had,
well,
more,
with her father being sick, that was pretty intense.
but that still wouldn't have just warranted a cell match. You know what I mean? It would have had to have
Well,
been.
that's what the main event was based on.
It would have had to have been like Ric Flair makes his return and Natalya comes and just beats him up.
So like the main event, Kevin Owens and Shane
beats up the old man that almost.
Could you imagine if Natalya headbutted Rick and he bled the hard way instead of fucking Owens?
That would have set up kind of the cell match.
That would have made it look like the baddest bitch of all time.
Even if you had maybe like heel Bret Hart come out and beat up Ric Flair with Natalya beating him up too.
God, at that point you're just going like TNA with a bunch of old men flopping around.
But still, I mean,
nobody wins.
It would have made sense to need a cell then. You know what I mean? To keep Bret Hart out of the match. You could book it a whole bunch of different ways, but in the end, I still would have had Charlotte going over if they had a cell match, I would have had Charlotte going over in a really hard fought match. And then Carmella coming and cashing in.
It's got to be better than her and Sasha from last year.
Travis, I want to.
Well, yeah, and Natalya has enough weight behind her. She's not that Natalya's big by any means as far as like overweight or anything, but she's also not 80 pounds like Sasha Banks.
She's brick shit.
She could break a fucking table if you slam her on it.
Yeah,
it's to the point where this match would have been okay with me if they had a good storyline behind it. But we could go over Colin. How would you book the cash in with Carmella?
I mean, if it was first of all, Travis, I want to stop you. You said that the Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins match was a match where it was useless to be in a cell.
No, I said Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins from last year.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you said Dean and Seth.
No, because they had a cell spot where they fell off the
right.
Dean and
okay.
Seth. Yeah.
What I was gonna say is no. A useless Hell in a Cell match was John Cena versus Randy Orton in that same show for a #1 contender spot. That was useless.
Oh yeah, and there's been plenty of more. I mean, CM Punk and Ryback is another one they didn't really use the cell. It was just a Brad Maddox like dirty ref angle, like just making a fucking match.
They were on top of the cell at some point in that match, though, weren't they?
God,
I mean, little did we know how dirty
they were on top of the cell at some point in that match.
God,
happened. They didn't really.
Looking back now, that match happened in a Hell in a Cell. Ryback and CM Punk for the title when he was red hot.
And the ref got over.
And boy, did he ever.
That was at Ryback's peak. You could say that was the time when Ryback was the hottest he's ever been, and they didn't pull the trigger.
That's how lackluster this women's match is. We're talking about Ryback's history. Colin, go ahead. Michael ask?
I'm sure it's somebody else's fault that he didn't go over eventually.
Too. How would you have booked the Carmella cash in right now? I think he did actually say earlier he would have done it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I get Michael's argument about how it wouldn't make any sense for a heel to cash in on a heel. But I'm just saying, tonight I was thinking, cool, Charlotte's just going to come back. And actually, essentially, you could still make it a heel versus face rivalry after the cash-in because you have Charlotte come back after Natalya gets the DQ thing. You have Carmella cash in, and then you have Carmella win the rematch against Natalya, and then you have Charlotte go over to Carmella and be like, well, I helped you get the title. Now you're going to give me a title match, and boom, there's your feud. There's Charlotte versus Carmella.
Yeah. And I think Natalya is kind of like the Big Show of the women. She's been flipped heel and babyface so many times. It's easy to do that.
Well, I want to one more possibility I could have had with the cash in tonight without it being a cell match.
That's an awful compliment, by the way. The Big Show of the women. Apologies.
But you could have had the same style match they had tonight, where Charlotte's really selling that leg injury, the knee, all that stuff. And have her put in the sharpshooter again for the second time, and her eventually just fucking break out of it, reverse it into a figure 8, and she gets to win by submission, but she can barely walk. Then you have Carmella come out and cash in. That would have made sense, rather than the schmoz tonight.
Yeah.
Also,
The
according to
Schmaj
Survivor
tonight
Series,
didn't do anything for anybody. It capped off a lackluster match, and it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for Natalya to use the chair. Does anybody else agree with me on this? When in any part of this match did you think Charlotte was really going to get over? She never really got any sustained offense throughout much of this match.
Never.
So, I mean,
Never.
what need was there for Natalya to use the chair at the end? That's my only problem.
Nakamura got more offense.
Like she
in
used
his
the
match.
chair basically, and it's supposed to be her saving her title. What was she saving her title from? Because she pretty much dominated 80% of this match. So that was my biggest problem with the finish.
Let's was Fashion Files up next, guys? I don't have the
I
format.
must have been
up.
smoking and I missed
I
it.
think you did miss it.
I think so.
I think it was.
Let's get into it. The return. It started off with the post-it note board. You had a picture of Orton and Kevin Owens on both that said allergic to sleeves. You had a couple
Don't
other
forget
ones.
Cesaro.
Yeah, the one with
Yeah.
Cesaro coming up and said like a what did it say, guys? I can't remember off the top.
Tooth Fairy 3.
Yep, there you go. And a couple
Is there a
other
Tooth
ones.
Fairy 2?
Oh, it said "That's so Raven," and a picture of Raven.
Yeah.
Shout out to that.
Yeah,
old
the
show.
crowd. Did you hear the crowd when they saw the Cesaro thing?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they all busted out laughing.
But this was funny. It was the Ascension again. This was actually I enjoy these more times than not because they remind me of the modern era Edge and Christian, as I said in the past. They're entertaining.
Explain to me what happened. I missed it.
Well, the Ascension came in dressed undercover horribly with blonde wigs like a delivery man, and you could tell it was them totally. You were meant to. That's what led to
Did
the
they have
joke.
face paint on?
They did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And like a Hogan mustache that was fake
Jesus
on
fucking
Connor and all
I
that.
love the Ascension so much. I wish they'd actually do something with them other than this. I mean, hey,
Go ahead,
it's
Colin.
TV
Run
time, I
down the
guess.
segment. Actually, run down the segment because I need a drink anyway and tell everyone what happened with like the tubes and the weirdness.
So, they had the box. It said 2B. They were closing the case. And then they hear a knock on the door, and it's the Ascension in, very clever disguises that totally weren't stupid. And they hand them a tube. And naturally, Tyler Breeze, being Tyler Breeze, is like, tube, 2B. Did we close the wrong case? Did we send the wrong man to jail? And then they open the tube, and it's the Ascension saying, we want to be your friend. And then they just brutally make fun of the Ascension and bury them. And then the Ascension just rips off their stuff and is like, well, that was mean. Fuck you guys. And then they leave. And then there's a knock on the door again, and then there's a briefcase. It just shines gold. And now they're going to do a Pulp Fiction parody, and we're going to find out what was in this briefcase.
So we're never going to find out who attacked them.
I don't know what the plan is for that anymore. I'm like, okay, is it Luke Harper and Eric Rowan? Is it the Authors of Pain? What the fuck's going to happen?
Logan, how'd you feel about the Fashion Files? Logan? Is Logan still there?
I'm here for some reason. It was cutting out on me.
Oh, okay. What'd you think about the Fashion Files, Logan?
It's entertaining. It gives you a whole unique, laughable break from the action. It gives you something to oh, hey, this is funny. And a lot of the people actually enjoy the Fashion Files. I am one of them.
I do too.
For the questions of who are they going to answer, who attacked them. I've said this on Cruise Control because we actually talked about the Bray Wyatt feud and what's next. I don't think it's going to be Luke Harper and Eric Rowan anymore. I think they need a physical Sister Abigail, and I think they need to put Luke Harper and Eric Rowan on Raw with Bray Wyatt and bring back the Wyatt family, but without Braun Strowman.
I thought you were going to say Sister Abigail was the one attacking Breezango, and I was like, what?
No. I'm just saying, in general, I don't think they need to have Luke Harper and Eric Rowan be the ones that attack them. And actually, I've read a couple weeks ago that they're going to have Primo and Epico as the attackers.
No, I don't think it ever needs to be anybody.
Lord.
I think it needs to be a running gag where you never find out. I think it needs to be part of the act. I don't think we should ever find out who it is. I think you're just going to add to it. That's how I would book it. Especially Primo and Epico. Just leave already. I'm sorry, but...
And Sister Abigail, that'll look great. You got beat up by a girl. You both of you. So I mean, by one girl.
I mean, it's not like they're the Legion of Doom either.
I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying, but you had this team challenging for the title a few months ago, and now they're getting beat up by a girl. That wouldn't make any sense to me.
And the biggest comedy match of the year, though, with the mobs and the costume changes.
That was a great match, though.
It was entertaining. But I enjoyed this, and next week, a little tease. It's now Pulp Fiction tease. fashion fiction, something like that.
Number one Pulp Fiction. So.
At the end of the day, I think Eric
Wow.
Rowan and Luke Harper doesn't need to be on SmackDown. They need to be on Raw with the Wyatt family, and then, like I said before, Sanity versus the Wyatt family. Book it.
There you go.
Nikki Cross.
And Sage Beckett, who I assumed was supposed to be Sister Abigail, but
I'm just saying, Nikki Cross has the most potential out of that whole group of Sanity. I'm sorry. I love Eric Young, but
There's no spring chicken either.
There's something about Nikki Cross that just says money to me. I think she could be a really good character on her own. Just that mysterious
I really
character.
like Dane and Wolf as a tag team. I think they're really good.
I'm sorry. That man is just way too hairy.
That's
I love
supposed
him.
to be.
Great.
Just like Albert. What do you remember about
it.
Albert?
I hate
What got him over?
But at least Albert was mildly in shape.
Big Dame. He's Big Damo from the European. I know you don't know who the fuck that
this
is.
Guy
But
just
that's
looks
who
like he eats way
he's
too
legit.
many chicken
He's
wings.
a monster. He's like that guy in Heavy Machinery where he's fucking just solid.
He just looks way.
Otis Dozovich?
Yes, Otis Dozovich.
He just looks way too much like he eats chicken wings, and doesn't work out.
I mean, if he does DDP yoga and he drops the weight, he's just going to be some hairy Irish guy. He's not going to be special anymore. So you want him to say
I'm
fat.
sorry, he could be big and still be in shape. He doesn't have to be big and fat.
Where did that take? Where did that take us? Does this take us to the WWE title match, Logan?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
He asked me, Collins, to shut your mouth. Stop interrupting people, especially Michael. You give him some respect.
Yeah, dick.
You guys calm it down. I got to play moderator for two people.
Never thought Logan and I'd be fucking
tagging
teaming up.
It's like the Shield reunion. Look at that.
God.
Sorry, Colin.
Thank you. At least Logan has a little bit of respect.
I'm gonna win the handicap match in real life. Don't you worry.
You would never win. You would never win a one-on-one match with me. I'd hurt you in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
You couldn't even pick up my right leg, so shut up.
I don't think you can pick up your right leg.
Yes, I can.
I don't have to pick up anybody's leg. I'll just punch somebody in the mouth.
I'm just going to call it now and say Logan wins just due to the yes, I can. Just the determination. Guys, WWE title match. Jesus Christ. Positives. I'll stay positive first. I'll try not to get too James Rolfinger video game nerd on it style. I enjoyed Nakamura's outfit for a change. I thought it looked badass. Look at that. The all black jacket. I thought it looked fine. The entrances were fine. The first part of the match was fine. And then it was gender on offense. And then, per usual, in my opinion, I try to give everyone a chance. It's just Nakamura it was called up way too soon. He was rushed on.
Call it right?
I didn't say he didn't yet. I never said he did. I think that. I just think let's see. But I just think it's not working. His shit is.
I don't think it's that Nakamura got called up too soon. It's just he hasn't been booked right on SmackDown.
No, he's not ready in the ring. In my opinion, he does not get the WWE style. And I don't blame him. Christ, he's been in New Japan for a decade. You know what I mean? That's no fun. It just takes some people longer. His shit doesn't look good. It looked better in NXT, but in NXT it was borderline sloppy. And his shit's getting repetitive too. The spot he did tonight to the outside with the knee spot, he literally just fucking did that spot in a match of Bobby Roode to take over a couple months ago. Paint by numbers. This match was almost that match, except for change Bobby Roode's finisher, Jinder Mahal's finisher, and add the sings, right? That's what I see.
I want to get a poll.
I don't see the Nakamura everyone fell in love with in Japan or NXT anymore. I don't know what the fuck happened, guys.
I don't want to cut you off, but I want to get a poll. Am I the only one that thinks his first match in NXT was his best match he's ever had since he's came to WWE?
Totally agree.
With Sami Zayn.
Oh, agreed. Absolutely.
Credit to Sami Zayn. All the credit in the world, too.
Yeah.
And they never had a match before that. Those were two guys who had never touched each other at all. And then they had one of the greatest matches.
That also speaks to sometimes this WWE style that they love to adjust guys to. It just doesn't work for some guys because that was his first match in the company. So it was still pretty much the style he brought over with it because they didn't have a chance to get to him yet and say, hey, cut the shit, pal. Don't do this out there. They're still letting him do his shit. They've given him no chance. Flat out. Let's get the bitchiness out. They've given him no chance in this angle with Jinder to get. He just comes off stupid. The way they're booking him, getting distracted the same fucking way every match. I don't get it, Michael Venn.
And they made him look even more weak after the Singh brothers got kicked out from ringside. He still loses clean to Jinder. So that's the one thing I'd like. Once again, I don't know who's booking these finishes.
And people are debating if it's clean. I've talked to people right there. Well, what's your definition of clean? Well, a rope break doesn't mean he's cheating.
Yeah, how did he cheat?
And the Sings
I get
distracted him
the
for a
Sings
second.
distracted
but
earlier in the match, but then they got kicked out. And then they were both focused on each other.
You
he
still
lost
made
clean.
Jinder kick out of the Kinshasa. Basically, he was still conscious enough to put a leg on the rope. So in a way, that kind of made
and
the
then,
Kinshasa looks like shit.
And then
I'm going to say it right now, it looks like fucking shit.
Dallas knee is way better.
Dallas knee.
Nobody knows about that.
Logan.
But,
let's start with Logan, or you want to take it home? Or?
Go ahead, Logan.
Yes,
I don't know.
I'm ready. I'm ready. This match was so bad that I want to talk about the poll that I put on Twitter.
God, Logan's polls. Cheap plug to Logan's polls on Twitter. Go ahead, Logan.
Logan's poll.
And yes, my poll was if the final vote was correct, I will attempt the Blazing Challenge at Buffalo Wild Wings with double sauce and redo it for my uncle, in memory of my uncle, and I will do it beside Travis, and I will do it beside Michael if these guys want to do it beside
Logan,
me.
I just want to make sure you're still alive afterwards.
I will be all right. And the final vote was Stone Cold at 43%, 36% for The Undertaker, The Rock 14%, and Triple H 7%. The fans who voted on Twitter was right, and I will be redoing the Blazing Challenge.
I voted for Stone Cold.
I voted for The Undertaker.
I voted for The Rock, but I had no idea what I was actually voting for.
You just saw a poll.
I just saw four wrestlers.
I've been on enough shows with Logan to know who his favorite is.
I always thought it was Taker for some reason. I don't know why.
It is Stone Cold, and I will be redoing the Blazing Challenge. There you go.
I will more than gladly.
I'm glad you've been on 100 shows with Logan. You don't know who his favorite wrestler is.
We don't really talk about it. I don't know. We haven't reached that point in our relationship.
He's brought it up on shows many times.
Thank you,
Michael, I do a million fucking podcasts. Don't throw me under the bus here. Come on.
It's supposed to be one
I do my best. And Logan has like 50 fucking polls a week, so that's enough to keep up with. I'm usually just bummed out.
Don't fucking make excuses.
Oh, here we go. But I will more than gladly be there to do the Blazing Challenge. Logan. You can bet your ass.
It sounded like Ryback.
Did I?
It's everything else's fault.
Because I have indigestion. That's why.
Jeez. And since Michael got it right, I want Michael to attempt at least one wing with that sauce on it.
I like hot stuff, but that's just too much.
He's calling your bluff.
I'm asking for one wing.
Especially with double sauce. That's awful.
You don't have to do double sauce, just single sauce.
That's
one
awful.
wing. That's it.
Logan, can't we do something I'm good at? Like not eating ridiculously hot
We can do a podcast together. There you go. See, look.
We do podcasts together all the time.
We're doing a podcast right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying you said do something that you're good at, and I just gave you a nice compliment.
Well, Logan, if I do, I want.
Why don't you guys throw everybody off and just go have chicken salad wraps?
I'm sorry. I want to make a challenge. If I eat one wing, if I attempt to eat one wing, you and I have to go to the batting cages together
and film it for the channel.
And videotape it.
Let's do it. I love.
I will fucking be terrible.
Shout out to the batting cages.
And we're gonna do it on the fastest speed possible, whatever batting cage we're at.
Logan, I'll eat 2 wings, however many I can handle, because I'm too cold to hold.
And Travis can come to the batting cages too.
I don't know if I can do the batting cages, but I will
tag along Travis. Now, and he can come along too.
You can eat a chicken wing, but you can't swing a bat, Logan.
I am terrible at swinging bats.
Can you swing a chicken wing and eat a bat?
Well, I'm terrible.
That's what she said.
I'm terrible at eating things that are way too hot.
Logan,
I'm gonna be honest. I was in the middle of a text. I completely zoned out for a second, and when I zoned back in, I'm like, "What the fuck are we talking about chicken wings?"
You're not really good. You're not relevant anyways. So
if I eat one chicken wing, you have to come to the batting cages.
Oh, okay.
On like a 70 mile an hour or 65 mile an hour thing.
The total match was that riveting that we're talking about.
That's
Logan cheap plugged his stuff coming up at the Blazing Wing Challenge. His polls on Twitter.
Logan acts like I'm never on a podcast.
And while we're on Logan, what'd you think of WWE title? And I flat out said it in a tweet, Logan.
Logan, I'd love to come on Future Wrestling anytime you and your co-host will have me.
Don't do it. Let's just move on. We're not doing that again. I think tonight was the night to pull the trigger on Nakamura. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's worth the investment, the money they spent. He definitely sells merchandise. The gender thing's not working. I just thought it was the time to do it. Give Hell in a Cell more of a reason to be remembered than the Shane and Owens thing, in a way. Make the card more. Could you imagine if the title change would have happened and on top of the well-rounded show we've seen tonight? Could have added. Or do you think that would have been overkill, Michael?
I think we discussed this earlier.
I wouldn't say it would be overkill. I think you're right, Travis. They needed to pull the plug right then and there with Nakamura. Jinder Mahal's just not cutting it. You heard the boos tonight. A lot of the fans agree with us, and they showed that reaction tonight that Nakamura needs the belt. He doesn't really need the belt. He just needs a couple wins under his belt to, stay relevant in the main event picture. And soon enough, I think he might only be a U.S. title or Intercontinental Championship guy. And that's sad because of the drawing power.
You don't think he'll be around that long, Michael? You think he's gone in a year? Nakamura's on his
when
way
his
out.
Contract's up. I think he's gone. To be honest, I think he's in for the quick cash in. I think he kind of figured his style wasn't going to get over in America. He knows.
You
I
think?
I think he now knows on the main roster what American wrestling is about. You have to be entertaining. You can't just be an in-ring guy. That, to be honest, his in-ring style, like I said, hasn't really hit with the fans.
But that goes back to what I'm saying. He is capable of being that entertaining because in New Japan he stood out as the most charismatic guy, but he was allowed to do everything.
He's speaking Japanese.
And they need to stop giving him so much mic time because he can't even open his eyes when he cuts promo, like we said. But I'm just saying, and that doesn't sound to be racial. It's just he squints because he tries to focus on how to say English. Is what I'm saying. So calm down, everyone. The snowflakes. It's not what I meant.
I called this when he got called up. I said I never thought he'd translate well on the main roster because of his language barrier.
I think we've all been weary since the day they signed him. We're like, how is this going to work?
And other things.
Two ways it could have gone.
And Asuka worries me a little bit.
I was about to say that.
I'm worried at how well she's going to translate on the main roster, but Asuka is so good in the ring. Her style is different from Shinsuke's.
I agree.
And I think in the women's division, her style will translate well. As far as language barrier wise, she's terrible with her English.
She also has a hell of a build behind her with being undefeated.
How about like we mentioned before, put her with a mouthpiece. Give her Paul Heyman. Give her Paul Heyman. My God, she doesn't have to say a goddamn word, and that's fine. She could be the female Brock Lesnar, like I've gone over many, many times.
Yep.
And that's how I would book her. But I don't know if Paul Heyman will do it. But even if you don't give her Paul Heyman, give her a mouthpiece. Give her Lana.
Give her Lana.
Give her Lana. Put her on. Put Lana on Raw and have her manage Asuka. You know what I mean? Because at least Lana will get over as far as verbally with the crowd, and Asuka only has to worry about doing her thing in the ring. So Asuka probably needs a mouthpiece more than anybody. I don't know if WWE creative really sees that at all. If they don't see it, they're fucking retarded. No offense to anybody who may be mentally challenged.
Well, I feel like, Colin, if anything tonight, this came off the booking, the finish, this whole Nakamura angle for the title in general came off like Vince finally watched the Nakamura match because he doesn't like it. And that's what this is all.
But he loves a Jinder match. Jesus Christ.
I don't get it. Honestly, I would have not had a problem with Jinder's reign as champion if he lost it to Nakamura at SummerSlam and this was the rematch and Nakamura retained. That would have been, to me, like a good reign for Jinder Mahal, as good a reign as he could have. But the fact that he's beaten Nakamura clean, kind of, 2 straight shows in a row, Nakamura has lost a lot of credibility. Obviously, he's still, one of the greatest wrestlers there is. But he still lost two shows in a row to Jinder Mahal. And this time it was as clean as it's going to get.
And he's not as established as an Orton to eat
really clean. He had the stupid little monkey babies that helped Jinder win. How was that clean?
Did you say monkey baby?
Like the first match, it wasn't that clean. This match, though, they got tossed out, and so they weren't directly the result.
Monkey babies.
They weren't directly the reason Jinder retained.
He had the fucking monkey babies.
Was it a puppy monkey baby?
No.
Okay.
It's not a puppy monkey.
I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit.
I'm just saying.
Pissing contest with these heels tonight, I'm telling you.
I'm sorry, monkey baby seems a little strong. Especially in today's society.
Kind of like Jinder's back knee. Bringing it full circle. Look at that.
I'm just saying, in today's society, I feel like monkey babies might be a little strong.
Well, let's stop saying the word then if you feel so strongly about it. Jesus Christ.
Let me be honest with you, okay? A lot of times faces are better off chasing a title, correct? Do we all agree with that?
Sometimes.
More times than not. Yes, if done right.
Sure. And to me, Charlotte is one that sticks out when I say that, because I think it's better for her to chase the title than have the title right now. And that but again, I think AJ Styles is also a guy that is better chasing the title than having the title. I mean,
Well,
he
for
is,
one, he's of smaller stature too.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes you want to root.
But,
You know.
but Nakamura, when it comes to Nakamura, you look at him as he needs the title more
Yes.
than him just chasing it.
Exactly.
So,
I think a lot of people still have that vision ingrained in Nakamura making his entrance at Wrestle Kingdom with like the crown and like this emperor. Like he needs a title. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like Neville in a way, I guess, at this point. Like Neville, as much as he's established himself, Michael, it's kind of hard to invest in a chase.
started on Kalisto. Jesus Christ, don't get me started, Kalisto.
Yeah, we're not going to
Don't
talk
talk
about.
about
We'll
Cruise
save it
Control.
for this week on Cruise Control Cheap Plug with Colin and Logan. But yeah, the WWE title. If anyone else has anything to say about the WWE title match before we wrap up, what else went down? But thankfully, we get to end the show on a positive match review, Michael. Anybody have last 2 cents on? I'm. It's done. Nakamura's done chasing time. I think he's going to the U.S. title picture too with Corbin calling it.
God,
that would
why?
work. I think that would work. Only if you keep AJ Styles in that feud. But then what do you go with Jinder Mahal? That's the only thing.
You go with AJ
You can't do another
Styles.
Randy Orton.
I think Nakamura is winning the Rumble. That it's plain. I think Nakamura is going to be the one to win the Rumble.
Now we're doing Royal Rumble predictions, for Christ's sake.
I don't know. I could see him doing it.
Just gonna throw it out there. You're retarded.
Fucking Enzo Amore is gonna win the fucking Royal Rumble. Here we go.
I'm okay with that too.
Oh, fuck you.
Jeez. That was that. Gender still reigns supreme, Michael.
He wins clean.
Are we gonna keep rhyming?
Just saying.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted me to keep going with it.
I mean, if we could rhyme all day, but still, he wins clean here. And
by the bay.
Maybe
what do you say?
I just may. But this might have been more of a head scratcher than the women's finish for me.
Oh, most definitely. Because at least you could have gender like retained.
If you're
but
gonna
in
do
this
this,
way,
why not just ban the Singh brothers from ringside?
Yeah. On a
Don't give WWE any more ideas to do a third
Or how about
match.
put it in Hell in a Cell? Because the Singh brothers have helped Jinder Mahal win more matches than not, and you don't have this in a cell. It's your biggest title on your brand.
You could have easily made this the cell match, right? And then you could have. I feel like you could have easily made KO and Shane a Falls Count Anywhere hardcore match, and it would have been just as good. They still could have dive spots off of things.
I'm just saying this, that you have a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and your title match, your biggest title, is just a regular match.
I don't think the title should have been defended on this show at all. I think they should have kept it off.
Well, guess what? They don't have a part-time guy with the belt. That's one thing you can say about Jinder. He's there every pay-per-view. So it's
dieting.
Yeah, nobody outdiets him. But this finish probably was the most perplexing one for me as far as why. If you were gonna have the Singh brothers get kicked out of ringside, okay, what was the point?
Yep.
That's what.
If
Shinsuke's gonna lose,
like
what the fuck? All it did was make Shinsuke look weak. And it made
stupid and gullible and all the above.
Yeah, it made Jinder look way better than he should.
Dumb foreigner.
So,
that's what it came off to the casual redneck. Dumb foreigner. Look at that. They don't know like Americans.
It basically had Vince written all over it. Well, we don't want Shinsuke to look better than Randy. Randy got beat because he got cheated every time.
Randy won though.
Shinsuke.
What are you talking about?
Randy
won tonight.
Randy didn't beat Jinder.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm talking about. Every time Jinder and Randy fought, Jinder won with heel tactics, and now you have Jinder and Shinsuke, and it's basically Vince saying, "Well, this guy can't. No, Jinder's got to go over."
But see, even that booking makes no sense because they let Nakamura beat Orton clean, right? And in the matches with Orton and Jinder, Orton would have won those matches if not due to being cheap heel tactics. So
that's what I'm saying.
Everything's null and fucking void.
Doesn't make any sense.
Here's another thing that doesn't make sense. Let's move it right along. Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, babyface Bobby Roode. I'm trying to segue so we get to the late guys. I will say one thing I liked about this fucking snooze fest was Ziggler's entrance with no music. I think that makes sense.
That was cool.
I like
that.
That made total sense. Problem is we had this match to sit through. Babyface Bobby Roode does not work for me. And I figured it out. I figured out why it's taken this long for Bobby Roode to come up. Triple H has just been given some more stroke in the last 2 years. Essentially, Bobby Roode is a perfect mixture of Ric Flair and Triple H. He's both of those guys combined. You know what I'm saying? The more laid-back, borderline Triple H boring style in the ring that's not glitzy with the Ric Flair-esque persona, all that mixed together. And hence, finally, we get Bobby Roode because Triple H has power. That's my conspiracy theory.
But I think a lot of this had to do with Dolph Ziggler.
The booking of him as a babyface, I don't think it's Triple H had either. I do not think Triple H greenlighted that. I think he's probably fully against that because it fucking makes no sense because he's a terrible babyface because Triple H was a terrible babyface. Jesus Christ, he is one of the most overrated, worst babyfaces ever.
Well, he was in
A 2007, not DX either. I'm just talking about the game. Feuding with Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25, Michael.
Jeff Hardy.
The only main event I've ever
And
fallen asleep
Armageddon or
with.
whatever that was.
Fallen asleep in.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed that match, just unpopular opinion.
Which one?
Orton and
Randy Orton versus Triple H at 25.
I fell asleep. First time
I enjoyed that
asleep.
entire rivalry. I enjoyed that entire rivalry. It's what made Triple H my favorite wrestler.
I try to be fair and defend most guests that take shit from Michael and Logan, but you should go take 3 showers.
You know, this is my first show with Colin, and I'm gonna say for about 75% of his opinions, you're kind of stupid.
Jeez, will you be serious?
I am being serious.
Michael,
I don't like it.
Are you with me? Michael, are you with me? I fall asleep every time he fucking opens his mouth.
Well, it's not. I don't fall asleep when he opens his mouth. I just think a lot of his opinions. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, it's a good thing neither one of you guys run the show and you don't call who the guests are.
Jesus Christ! I run the show just as much as you run the show when I'm on the show. So I don't want to hear that.
I
shit.
hit a button.
You can hit a button all you want. I'm still here because I'm sitting right next to you. That's the problem you have with me. You can't cancel me out.
I wouldn't cancel you out.
But I'm just saying, respectfully,
delete.
I think Colin is kind of stupid sometimes with the way he with his preferences.
That's actually the first thing I've ever really thoroughly disagreed on with Colin is that Triple H Orton match is the shits. I hate that match. It's so bad, so misbooked.
Okay, you have to also realize I had just started watching wrestling, and I was like in 5th or 6th grade when that happened.
Well,
so,
that's probably amazing to him then. We loved,
we loved
95 when we were in 5th.
So you're saying you watched Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, and then you watched Randy Orton and Triple H, and you thought Randy Orton and Triple H was a great match?
I never got. I didn't watch the pay-per-view. I found Triple H and Randy Orton on YouTube and watched that because Triple H was and still is my all-time favorite wrestler. And so
see, he was just misinformed, guys. He didn't know better. Give him a break.
But to make it fair, I will go back, rewatch that match, and I'll let you know what I think then.
No, I want you to watch Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. I want you to just watch his last 2 matches, one after the other, and then tell me how great that match was.
I've seen those matches. I've since gone back and watched those matches. Those were great.
Somehow we're reviewing 2009.
That is.
Does that speak to the Bobby Roode babyface?
Where do you find these guys?
No, it does not. Bobby Roode, give him a chance. Give Bobby Roode a chance as a face.
Well, you know what? You're stupid, Logan, because that's the stupidest thing I've heard all night. Babyface Bobby Roode, give him a chance. You want me to heal it up, Michael?
Do it.
You know what, Travis? We gave Jinder Mahal an opportunity and a chance as a heel.
But he's not miscast. He's not fucking miscast. He's a heel. He should be a heel. That's the difference.
He can get that gimmick over and the glorious gimmick over as a face.
He's not allowed to be Bobby Roode, which what got him over in the first place. He can't do his heel shit. He can't bury people as a babyface fully.
Yeah, how do you get over as a heel in NXT?
He's gonna come off
as their champion, and then you bring him up to the main roster and magically they're a goddamn face.
Don't stop it.
I'm sorry.
We're not gonna do that.
We've seen him as a heel, and I think in the long run I know, but I'm saying, in the long run, give him a chance as a face. If it doesn't work out, which you guys, your opinions are...
I totally disagree. Shouldn't have been green lighted.
In the long run, I think him being a face and then transitioning into a heel will be a bigger thing.
I'm going to make the ultimate sacrifice and challenge right now for the show, Michael. I'm going to give Colin a chance to redeem himself. If he thinks babyface Bobby Roode is asinine in the first place, he could get a pass at the end of the day by the end of the episode with you. So
don't give him a hint.
I'm not giving him a hint. He's not going to bullshit his way. He is on a show where people whip their penises out. He's not going to bullshit.
I've never whipped my dick out.
That will never happen.
But
thank God, because I'm right fucking beside you.
Thank God.
But you basically said, as long as you agree with my opinion, we won't find you retarded.
No, that's fine because
No, I said
don't
you.
have
I
to,
didn't
I
say
don't have to
me.
take the
I'm
hint.
not an asshole.
I don't have to take the hint. I think babyface Bobby Roode is bullshit. NXT Bobby Roode was good.
Giving it a chance.
It-
I'm
it-
going to give it a chance.
Logan,
okay?
this would be like signing Ric Flair from WCW in '92. And bringing and yes, he was a babyface in like '89 with Terry Funk, but for a brief period, and it wasn't as fucking good, and it didn't
Bringing
really
in
make
Ric
sense.
Flair as a baby.
We bring him in as a babyface in WWF. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna put him against Hulk Hogan as a baby.
They had a chance to put another main event fucking heel and a reason to watch SmackDown, but right now they're doing what they did with Nakamura. They're feeding him to fucking irrelevant guys in the first place. Nakamura wasn't miscast; he just wasn't ready. That was the difference in that, in my opinion.
I will agree that Bobby Roode would be a better person as a heel than Jinder Mahal as the champion. I think Bobby Roode could have came in and saw AJ Styles defeat Jinder Mahal and then debut and take him out. That would have been a great heel. But they're going to need somebody that can transition into facing Kevin Owens in the future. And I think Bobby Roode and Kevin Owens is going to put on some good matches. I'm giving this a chance. Don't call me stupid because I think the gimmick can go over. But if in the long run, I'm giving it, like I said, I'm giving it a chance. But they could also ruin it like they've done in the past.
I don't know. Maybe it's my ultimate nerdy dream, Colin, right now to have an ultimate like Horseman-esque heel stable in SmackDown of the Revival, Bobby Roode, and like a McIntyre or Ty Dillinger in there, or Roderick Strong.
Oh, I'd love that. Anything with the Revival, I'm sold on.
That would be perfect right now because they're like this era's version of the Brainbusters.
They could ever stay healthy.
If they, that's very true. Sadly, God, it's such a good team.
It's bad that if when the Revival come back,
I called the Revival for like 2 years, and they finally got called up. So it's
hard not to. I called I called Michael Jordan in college. I called it.
I'm just saying, I called them 2 years before they got called up.
I think they kept having consistent, tremendous matches, and we're in an era where tag team wrestling sorely needs reasons to watch it.
Well, the problem was they were working these guys that got called up, and they were getting called up. So it was like
Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, Enzo and Cass get called up, but the Revival were still in NXT. So it's like
I got that call though more because there's more money as we've seen merchandise wise with Enzo and Cass and the Revival Flips No Fist shirt. I would say
you're gonna have more people watch a Revival match than you would.
Guys like us, bitter 30-year-olds wear Flips No Fist shirts, and like the mainstream demographic they want wears Enzo stuff basically. You know.
I don't see Revival coming back on Raw because there's too many heel teams right now.
I agree.
We need a face team over there, so I think Gable and Shelton Benjamin could go over to Raw, and then Revival come over to SmackDown.
What'd you guys think of Roode and Ziggler before we move on to the main event and take it home? It sucked for you.
It was okay. I've seen better.
Crowd was dead for one.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
This match itself had nothing to write home about, so I thought it sucked.
If they knew the finish to Charlotte and Natty was going to be that lackluster, why not just flip those two matches? You know what I mean? I don't know. Or Rusev and Randy. Fuck it. You're just going to bury Rusev and make him independent again. I don't say bury a lot, but that's what they done with Rusev.
I think the fans anticipated the main event, so they wasn't really caring about the match beforehand. They just really wanted to
getting tired.
That
Why would they care about this match anyway?
Yeah. I mean, besides impersonation.
It's Ziggler. I think everybody knows this is probably his last pay-per-view appearance.
Colin actually predicted Ziggler to win. I saw in your predictions around.
Yeah, this was probably Ziggler's last pay-per-view appearance before he leaves the company. His contract.
No, I think he's sticking around for a while, but I mean, hopefully once his stand-up comedy career takes off, he'll leave. But yeah, no, my dumbass thought, okay, cool. Ziggler, Roode, they'll probably do this on more than one show. Yeah, they're probably going to give Ziggler the win here. That was a stupid choice.
At least he admits when he's being stupid, Michael. Unlike past guests.
I don't know why he would
all the time. So,
I mean, I guess I could see him doing it too.
Bobby Roode's pay-per-view debut. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura for the belt in NXT and then beat him to retain it.
Yep.
Shinsuke Nakamura then made his debut on SmackDown, beat Dolph Ziggler in his first pay-per-view.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm going to pick Dolph Ziggler to beat Bobby Roode in his first pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's why I think that was totally stupid.
Yes, but it's
Jesus Christ, Colin, you're not getting much
SmackDown. Credibility
with me.
It's SmackDown. Of
this
course
is Logan's wet dream.
Like that.
Go ahead, Colin. Sorry.
No, I get it. It is a stupid choice, but at this rate, I can see it happening.
You make a lot of stupid choices. Let's get that out there right now.
I'm seeing it. He really does.
If anything, anything's possible with Jinder is a
now
WWE
you
champion.
see.
Let's be real.
Now you see what I deal with.
Stranger things have happened. Sami Zayn, the ultimate babyface, turned heel tonight. And you know what? Fuck it, guys.
See, I like some things that Colin says on the Cruiserweight show, but then he comes on this show and he just says things that are ridiculous. To be honest with you. Like, it's just common sense.
Thank you, Michael. Finally, somebody's nice to me and
Colin,
agrees.
and as always, you're part of the Slam Pigs Mafia or whatever the fuck we're called. You feel free to fire back by all means.
Oh, I dare you. I dare you.
I'll pass on this one.
It's
It's my first time on the show. It's
can't ask for much more than man taking a high.
I'm just saying, you fire back all you want. I just dare you.
I want you to so bad right now because I just want to see what Michael says. Please just do it. Do it.
As
Go ahead, Target. Go ahead.
No, it's because I'm a better heel. I'm not gonna give you what you want to see.
It's got a point.
You ain't getting it.
If by better heel you mean better dumbass. Soup. Sure.
Well,
that was great.
Well, you ain't getting
that was the zinger, Mike.
That's just obvious. That's just an obvious fucking point being made. I mean, your logic of thinking to me, as far as the wrestling business goes, is that of maybe an 8-year-old.
Who do you be? I'm not going to tell you again. I'll have you out of here in a second.
What?
You want to leave?
I'm being honest.
Yes.
We're just paying tribute to Gorilla and Bobby earlier right now.
I mean, all the things he said on the show, I agree with maybe 20% of them.
Well, that's fine. If everybody agreed, it'd be fucking boring.
Yeah, but most of the things he says make no fucking sense.
Well,
how do you not call him out on this shit? Because you're a nice guy, Travis.
Because I'm a host and a professional at the end of the day.
Oh, because I'm not professional because I speak my opinion.
No, I didn't say that. You know, you asked me why I don't do that.
I'm opinionated right now.
You're the entertainment.
Colin.
You put butts in the seats. I never drew a dime, Michael. Christ.
Nobody said that.
I said that.
You have a much better...
You put me on a solo show, it gets 20 fucking views. Put you guys on it, it draws dimes.
Well, you have a much better podcast voice than I do. I just say things that people are thinking.
Let's do it, though. Like I just said, so we finally take it home.
Can we grade
2 a.m.
Please, let's grade this.
We'll grade the pay-per-view after we get to the best part of it, the main event, real quick. I was going to say, I brought up Sami Zayn earlier. Who would have thought? And I can't believe I never thought of this possibility of a swerve. I don't know if any of you guys did it. Sami Zayn turned heel tonight. A guy that we've called for months saying they need to do like a Daniel Bryan route if they're going to do anything, but they didn't. And we were flat out wrong on this. And I think it worked. I don't think it was a heel turn, and it makes sense. The history is there. It's exciting. If any of you guys that are listening are in the chat, which I have not had up, all apologies due to issues, but they did tremendous work together as heels or faces, whatever. Anytime they did anything like ROH, all those promotions. So I'm excited, definitely excited to see where it goes. Wasn't a big fan of the Seth Rollins, Tyrone Owens, but it's whatever. It's wrestling here. It doesn't ruin a match. Finally, guys, I feel like a main event. Michael, finally, Jesus Christ. When's the last time a main event lived up and left you smiling? Even Braun and Brock couldn't do that. Even Joe and Brock didn't do that. A guy that is not even a fucking wrestler did that. Yeah, well, that's,
Brock just comes and collects his paycheck,
look,
and that's what
I really feared in the first 5 or 10 minutes, guys, during this match that it was going to disappoint because of the slow pacing, blah, blah, blah. It's the last match of the night. It's a Shane McMahon match, so it's kind of unfair. I feel like anybody working with Shane McMahon and anything with heights, it's unfair because all they're waiting for essentially is the dive, and that sucks. And I try to just wait for more than a dive and analyze the match. And I did that, and I thought the pacing was well. It got more physical as time went on. They started gradually using more objects in the cell. It told a great way to get out, even though Shane struggled with those bolt cutters. I was getting worried. Did you hear him say, Shane cussed too?
Shane cussed I heard that. He was like, "Argh."
Yes.
I didn't hear the cussing, but I heard him. He was like, "Argh."
Besides the obvious, the worst part of this was
why wouldn't he just cut the chain? Why do you need to cut the actual fucking block?
But looking
back.
That's
what I was sitting back looking like. Yeah. Just cut the goddamn chain. That was my biggest problem with this match.
Go ahead, Logan.
Go ahead, Logan.
I like the swanton bomb into the table miss inside the cell.
Oh my God, the bump Owens took when they made their way.
Ooh.
Like I said, just the pacing.
Oh, the cannonball.
Yes, holy shit, beautiful, beautiful spot. Looked brutal, good, legit. You would say you thought he broke his back. He delivered it good. And then the bolt cutters, the ref botch aside, these things happen. It's a gimmick match. Sometimes
Shane McMahon, Shining Star Press, never saw that either.
Shooting Star Press. He did that at Mania with Styles, I thought, this year.
Yeah, he did.
This was much more entertaining for me.
Well, yeah, I mean,
than Styles.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, here we go, Collins.
All right.
Oh, fucking shit.
I'm just saying.
I need to-
I thought Styles and McMahon was a way better match than this.
Once again, I think
I'm
you're a
a-
retard.
I'm gonna start smoking weed
Travis,
because
Travis,
of
did you think Styles and McMahon was
I
better in this
don't.
match?
I disagree. I think that Styles and McMahon, it was good. It was rushed. It wasn't given the amount of time. I mean, it was given a fair amount of time, but
It
it
was
could
just a
have.
regular match.
it was a wrestling match that,
Yeah.
that can be remembered for WrestleMania. But this match right here with the cell is more will be remembered way more than the Taker
Yes,
match.
because this had a payoff, a heel turn. It had Shane's family on the outside. This had all the ingredients to make a beautiful match, segment, whatever you want to call
And
it.
This actually
But I
told a
still
story.
think Styles-
that was my biggest problem with Styles and McMahon at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
just didn't tell as good of a story.
Can't dare I say, Michael, the two best matches Shane has ever had happened this year at this
Yes,
age.
I'm
Ever.
not saying
I'll
that
say that right
Styles.
now,
I'm not
my
saying
opinion.
Styles and McMahon was a terrible match.
That was really good.
I thought it was really good, but I thought this match itself told a way better story.
Would you say by a scooch this was better than
Did
that?
you-
or by
No,
a country
I
mile?
think,
Did you
I think
guys
this.
know-
I wouldn't say it's a country mile, but I thought it was a good margin here, just with storytelling and obviously the advantage with spots in this style of match. I thought this match was head and shoulders above. I wouldn't say a country mile because there were some good things in the WrestleMania match. That
No, I'm not. That's exactly.
like you
I'm
had
not
the
saying, like, it
coast to
was
coast
way
Shane
better.
bump in this match as
Don't
well.
interrupt.
So I mean, the other one was just a regular style match. This one was different, and I think entertainment wise, this match was a full star better than the one they had at WrestleMania with AJ Styles. So,
There you have it.
but go ahead, Logan.
Did you know Kevin Owens got the middle finger from one of the Shane McMahon's kids?
Did not see that.
I did not see that, but I got
I saw
frustrated
that.
at Shane McMahon's kids when
They were
They,
laughing.
they didn't.
Yep.
It was off camera because Kevin Owens was like, "You didn't just give me the finger."
I did not see that. I need to go back now. Thank you, Logan.
It
No,
was
that's great.
That's
great.
Kevin Owens.
It was
He probably went
from-
outside and beat him.
And I like that Graves kept bringing that up on commentary too. By the way, well, Owens has a family too, and obviously that's what led to the Zayn stuff. Blah blah blah. But
And
yeah,
that's what makes Corey Graves so great at what he does on commentary. He just makes everything just so much better. It reminds me so much of Jim Ross. It reminds me so much of Bobby Heenan.
whoever's in his ear right now in Gorilla is on point too with what they're feeding him. So they need
I
to get
don't know
credit
how much
from
they're
it too.
really feeding him though. I think he's just being honest.
Well, if it's on Raw and under Vince's watch, he's getting fed. Trust me. I would like to think, based on Vince's history.
But
Colin, did you?
go ahead, Colin. Please tell me how this is better.
Well,
Please
no,
tell me
that's
how
not what I was
this-
going to say. I want to get off of that. I
No,
just want
I
to get
wanna
his
get on
thoughts
that.
on this match.
Please tell me how this was worse than WrestleMania.
Okay, you act like I thought this was the worst match he's ever had.
No, never said
I'm
that.
not
You said
saying
WrestleMania
that-
was better than this.
Yes, because I thought it was a more entertaining match. Now, don't get me wrong, this match with Owens was great too. I just enjoyed Styles and Shane more.
Well, tell me why.
I thought the Styles and Shane match was more entertaining.
Why? I want
'Cause it was-
This is
reiteration. Give me details.
Michael, calm down. You got to remember this is the same motherfucker who said the dick spot is the greatest thing of all time.
Well, no. I'm
Never
just
said it
saying.
was the greatest thing
I
of
just
all
want
time.
reiteration. I would like to hear his details on why this was better matched. Why was it more entertaining for you at WrestleMania than this one?
I thought the match in Mania was just faster paced. I like fast paced matches. This one was a lot slower, and it told a story.
What a
But I just-
cell involved. What do you expect them to climb up the cage like fucking monkeys?
It's not the Singh brothers apparently in Logan's world.
No, it's not.
No, I would say if you could look at it on one hand and say, yeah, this Hell in a Cell match was waiting on a bunch of spots, but I would say this definitely had the edge of my seat because I don't think I've seen a cell match with more spots on top of the cell. Like legit, Jesus Christ, I was like, I had anxiety.
Well, that and
watching
even the
these guys.
storytelling before Shane was on top of the
And
cell.
I just
With Owens like
even
kinda
without analyzing it,
teasing jumping off of there onto
yeah,
Shane,
that was great.
which you
Heels,
would have
yeah,
never
yeah,
saw
yeah,
coming.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh my god,
Well,
Kevin Owens is going to jump off the cell.
I was kind of like, man, I give Owens credit all the time for not pandering to the fans, and that's what makes a great heel. And then he like pandered to the fans, like, oh man, I mean, it's cool he's gonna jump, but then he did it, and I was like, all right.
And let's just say this cell is much better than 2008 cell.
Structurally,
Yes, it's much taller. It's not it's not 5 feet above the fucking rope.
But sometimes
So
when I compare matches, at the end of the day, I got to go with my gut, and I can't think of many matches in recent memory that literally give me anxiety watching them. That I get nervous, and I'm gonna stick with this more. Even though I really love the Mania match as far as a match, I thought it was good. This is gonna stick with me more, just because I'd be like, yeah, I remember watching that, and I was fucking had anxiety or whatever. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
They're both good.
Just memorability in this match. You're gonna remember way more things in this match than you are from WrestleMania, which is why Colin couldn't reiterate on why it was more entertaining.
Well, he did. He explained
didn't.
about
He
the
did.
faster.
He really
He
didn't.
enjoys faster pace.
He enjoyed the faster pace, but he couldn't give me any details from that WrestleMania match.
Well, you want him to write a book and have it in by next week?
Yeah, I
Is that
would
what you
have.
want?
I would have loved to have heard details. That's what I asked for 3 times. But you could give me details on this match probably a year from now. And he couldn't give me details on the WrestleMania match that was in April. So that's why I think this match was better.
Oh,
I'm just being honest with you. Not only that I think some of your opinions are stupid, but this one especially. So it's just this one was I felt like this was like how could you even say that? This match was crazy. I thought there were so many spots in this match. Maybe it started off a little slow, but Jesus Christ, this match, the longer it went on, you were like, holy fuck, what are they going to do next? And is that cage going to break? You know what I mean? So it's to the point where, and then if you get the finish,
the impeccable time,
which I didn't even think they needed it.
I didn't see him either.
You didn't need a fucking heel turn for Sami Zayn in this match, but you got it.
I literally thought Owens, and I'm sorry, Colin, for this guy over here, by the way.
Why?
Was
I really that disrespectful? I was giving my opinion.
You've called him a retard and stupid. I mean, you've called him stupid.
I just said I thought his opinion was stupid. I didn't call him stupid.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
I thought his opinion was stupid.
Fair enough. Fair play. My apologies, Michael.
Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah, but I didn't see Sami Zayn either at first. I just thought Owens moved.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I didn't think.
And
the
crowd just kept pop kept. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And
like
Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that was like icing. That was like icing on the cake for me.
And don't forget Corey Graves when he said, "Where did Kevin Owens go?" And then all of a sudden.
Yeah. I don't know about Colin. I don't know about you, but when I watched Shane fall from the initial when it happened live from the overhead camera angle,
we all.
I thought he. I don't want to.
I thought he moved too. I had no clue Sami Zayn was there.
I literally thought he passed away. He died on impact.
No,
I did because of his age, the way he just flopped and he was motionless and it was he bounced. I think what it was when they showed different angles.
The way the camera panned was like not exactly in Shane's face, but still showing Shane. I was like, holy shit, did Shane just die? Do they not know if they should show him or not?
We don't have any reports on Shane, by the way. He gave a thumbs up on his way. I haven't seen that. I haven't looked.
I think he's okay. I think there would have been a report saying he was, dead by now. If
he landed on his
not
shoulder.
that. I didn't mean he died, but I just haven't looked for like.
I know what you meant. I was just saying.
I just thought like a broken rib, especially and possibly.
Yeah, I could tell by the way he landed, he wasn't dead. If he was gonna die from that, it must have been internal injuries. But he definitely landed on his shoulder / like rib cage back area. So that never crossed my mind. I thought that was definitely a work.
1,000,000 times better, gentlemen, than Undertaker
the WrestleMania match
and Shane McMahon at WrestleMania last year.
Oh.
All of us would have to agree. Or this year, whenever it happened. Last year.
That was 2 years.
That was whatever. Way better than that.
Well, yeah, but
finally go out of your way to watch a Hell in a Cell match. You would say, Logan. What did you think of this match?
It was one of the best Hell in a Cell matches I've seen in decades. Well, in the last decade, at least.
I was say the first one was in '97.
The best one too was the first.
Yeah, it's the heel turn gave it something that we didn't expect. So in the long run, that's a good thing. Now we need. I'm gonna say it right now. Sami Zayn needs a new theme song right off the bat.
Well, yeah, I would hope. No, they're not going to TJ Perkins and keep the friend.
Yeah, I was about to say, but we've seen TJP. He still has that retarded ass fucking theme song, and he's a heel.
Yeah, but nobody watches 205 Live, so it's fine.
It would have been. It's a shame they gave that no music, no entrance, anything gimmick to Ziggler. They could have done that with Zayn right now.
But I mean, I'm just saying, nobody watches 205 Live, so it's fine.
Just us three.
It's okay. But as far as him needing an entrance change, yeah, he does. But I wouldn't compare it to like TJ Perkins. I feel like that's like comparing like minor league like shit to actual stuff. So it's
Kevin Owens is your winner, victorious. Yeah, we're all run out of time.
with the help from Sami Zayn.
Let's go around the boards to do what we always do. Great Hell in a Cell match, great main event to cap off the night. Colin, what do you grade Hell in a Cell 2017 overall?
I give it a solid B+.
Fair enough. Michael.
Logan.
Sorry, I didn't know where you wanted to go.
Well, I'm gonna give it a B-.
There you go, Michael.
I'm gonna give it a C.
A C.
Yep.
Ooh. Go ahead.
Too many matches on this card that were not very good for me to be able to even put it in the B category. So I'm going to give it a mid-range C. Yes, it had its high points with the 2 cell matches. But other than that, this pay-per-view I felt like really... And the U.S. title match was okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get as high on it as maybe you were or some of the others on here. But other than that, I mean... You figure how many matches were on this card? 6, 7?
Something.
8.
And there was and there was 3 good matches. So I mean, I don't know how you would really be able to put it in that B category.
I think
for me it's a straight in the middle C for me because one, the women's title match, the Rude Ziggler match, the WWE title match, all 3 of those matches were not good. It's tough for me to really get that high on this pay-per-view. Yes, there were great spots in this pay-per-view. The 2 cell matches definitely delivered. The U.S. title match was okay.
Should have just been those.
So it's definitely this. That's why I give this a straight down the line C for me. I cannot put it in the B category.
Fair enough. I'm gonna have to go in the Logan camp this week on this episode and give it a B-. And I would say that yes, it's overkill to put multiple Hell in a Cell matches on any card, but like as we said at the very beginning of the show, these matches were different enough, and they were the recipes for 2 beautiful ways to do this gimmick match. I think just having these 2 matches enough validates a B-. This card definitely had its low points. I don't feel like Rude and Ziggler in the women's match were bad enough, like, oh, you should just whip out your dick and piss on your television. I think they were bad, but it was a tolerable kind of bad. As opposed to WWE title match was just, I could never go back and watch that again. That is that kind of bad for me. But I think it's okay sometimes to have a well-rounded card, especially with 2 cell matches, to have a match you can finally be like, oh, I can take a break from my anxiety and take a piss. Like, I found myself craving the Bobby Roode match to come, so I'd be like, all right, finally I can get up and do something. So I think that's good. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, like, I
B-.
respect your opinion.
B-.
But if you have 3 great matches and 3 shitty matches, what do you grade a paper as a teacher? A C,
I get
right?
it. Nobody's debating anyone's opinion, but
yeah.
we've all done a great job explaining it.
And then 2 matches that were like, okay, that's why I low graded it, because I know you gave me the reaction of it's really a C.
And look, you as progressive.
I gave it the reason I gave it a B- is because the B was because of the 2 Hell in a Cell matches. That right there gives it. The negative is because a couple of the matches just fell flat. But then the AJ Styles, the triple threat for the United States title, gave it the B-. So in the long run, we've seen worse pay-per-views than this. So
Thank you. I was just about to ask you that, Michael. You're reading my mind. You were really big on No Mercy this year, unexpectedly. Last post show, you were really in love with that show.
I know the 2 cell matches in this card were great. I get it. But I thought as an overall show, I thought No Mercy was better. Top to bottom on the card. And I saw some of the comments in our post show of No Mercy where people were like, this is a D+ pay-per-view. I don't know how you guys are giving it B's and A's. But to be honest, I thought top to bottom, the whole card in No Mercy was better than the whole card of this pay-per-view. I felt like it was much more well-rounded, which is why I scored it higher. I can't take 2 good matches
due to placement on the card, and I came out of this with a better feeling.
Fine.
I got to put this one ahead than No Mercy. I enjoyed No Mercy.
Can't do it.
But I came out of this finally. It was so refreshing to come out of a WWE pay-per-view with a positive note for once. And I didn't get that. I was so disappointed in Braun and Braun.
Yes, but aside from that match in No Mercy, what was really bad?
But that was enough. That was enough, though.
I had one bad match.
That was enough to take the wind out of my sails, is what I'm saying, because I didn't give a shit on anything else.
You had 3 bad matches on this card.
And they were the matches I didn't really give a shit about.
So it's like
the matches I was hyped for this, they delivered. That was the difference between this and No Mercy. I got what I wanted instead of unexpected surprises.
Well, that's fine.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we grade on a different level, I guess. I go off of favorite cards, you go off of high points, low points, what really cancels out and really sticks in your mind, which is fine. I get it. So, Colin, why'd you grade it a B+? Colin?
Logan, are you there? Colin.
Now
yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah, the
Colin,
music
why-
completely makes you down.
Colin,
Sorry.
why'd you grade it a B+?
Altogether, I thought the cell matches were great. I thought the triple threat match was great. Corbin won the U.S. title, so I'm just biased. But I thought it was a good show. I'm not going to go back and rewatch all of it, but I mean, if I ever go back to rewatch it, there's some good matches in there.
It would be the obvious cell matches if any of us would go back. Check out.
Exactly.
I would check out the U.S. title match again, probably. I liked it a lot. Logan, man, why did you grade it what you did?
Well, I just overall the 3 matches, B- because the main event was so good that it gave it the grade a little bit better than a C, and the law. There's nothing to say really negative. This will probably be better than TLC. Just saying.
Probably. It's a fair assumption.
Well, yeah, with no universal title match.
Yeah, that always helps. We are out of time, though, Michael. It is 2:30 in the morning. Hell in a Cell post show. Real quick, thank you, Cruise Control staff, for coming aboard. Real quick, Colin, one more time, where can everyone check you out, your blog and all that stuff?
You can check me out on Twitter at UberTieGuy. You can check out my blog that I'm already way behind on because of my new job, but that's Colin's Thoughts No One Asked For .wordpress.com. And yeah, always check me out on Cruise Control with the Hibiki TMD and Logan Myers.
Most definitely, man. Thank you for coming on, and I will see you this week on Cruise Control. Mr. 205 Live, Mr. Future Wrestling, Logan Myers. Michael, his proper ring names, please.
Oh, you want them all?
Yes, I want them all.
Okay. He is the king of cold cuts, the owners of Logie's Hoagies. He is Big Papa Potbelly himself. Hulk Logan. We could go on and on. Logan Myers, where can everybody check you out?
Brooke Logan.
You guys can obviously check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. Check me out on YouTube with Broski for Future Wrestling Podcast. Just go like, subscribe, and just enjoy the product.
More than 40 views would be great.
And I will see you on Cruise Control this week, Pally. And Michael, once again, my right-hand man, co-host of Slam Pigs Podcast. Where can everyone check you out?
Everybody can
And
check
I'll
me.
plug myself stuff. So I just send myself and something. No, I mean, because you like to do me a favor.
I'm sorry.
I miss doing it sometimes.
Well, you're my brother. I like to, I
Go
like
ahead.
to do things for you. But you can check me out at Mike the Slam Pig on Twitter. As always, check us out as a whole, Hibiki TMD, Hibiki Quickies.
You did it anyway.
Slam Pigs
Look
Podcast.
at you, just can't help it. It's like a trigger.
What
Go
I
ahead,
do.
do it. Give
What
it to
I
him.
do.
Give him the goods.
Cruise Control with Logan and Uber Tie Guy, whatever his fucking gimmick is this week. Also, our sister show, The Reset Button, with Tana. I know. I never mentioned Tana. I really should, because Tana and I are pals. But yes, if we could ever get Tana a little more educated on wrestling and me a little more educated on gaming, we could have a great show. Yeah. But I feel like it's going to take some time.
Plug your Facebook, because I know you love Facebook. I hate Facebook.
Well, I don't love Facebook, but I go on it because of my kid. And so I'm always posting pictures of my kid on there. Make sure to check us out, Slam Pigs Podcast on Facebook. We're there. We have about 150 members of that group.
Not a lot, but it's fine, because we never use it. So
it's good. But Travis,
I'll see you next week, Pally. Until next time, keep enjoying a Hibiki Halloween right here on the channel. You enjoy them too, Mike. We'll get your candy corn and all that goodness. Trick or treats right
next
around
time
the
we
corner.
come on here, it'll be birthday time for me, Mr. 30.
Well, no, we have a show before that. That's 2 weeks.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm just saying.
Regular Slam
next
Pigs
post
next
show.
week. Until next week, I am at the Hibiki TMD. Always everything Michael just said. This is Slam Pigs Podcast. Hell in a Cell Coach Show. Slam Pigs Cruise Control. See you then.
Oi!